the 10th, 2008. It's Friday Night Football on LSC, your local sports channel.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to Todd's Darling Stadium here. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, Bob Killen, and again joining us for the remainder of the season. Down on the sideline with reporting is Bob Hintz. Big rivalry tonight. It's the game of the year.
It always is, Mike. Hampton with 12 state championships and been to the playoffs 30 of the last 32 seasons. Phoebus, on the other hand, 3 state championships. They've been in the playoffs the last 7 straight seasons.
And you talk about Mike Smith, one of the winningest coaches ever in the state of Virginia, along with Bill Dee, who's considered 2 of the top coaches here in the Peninsula District and throughout the eastern part of the country. High school wise, both coaches have been very successful, especially Bethel in the last few years. Last year, Phoebus won this game 24-0 in the regular season and came back and beat Hampton in the state regional finals in order to advance at that point to the state semifinal game. If we want, we can go down there and chit-chat with Brent Musgrove, who is on the sidelines now with Coach Mike Smith of the Hampton Crabbers.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with head coach Mike Smith. Coach, first let me say I read the Daily Press article the other day. The humor in that was I thought that was one of the best articles I've seen written about a coach and about a team in a long time.
Well, I guess we've been reading too many newspapers, so, it's a fun game.
Well, I just thought it was really apropos, all the years you've been involved in coaching and stuff like that, and you just made it look so light and easy, and I know the expertise you bring to it. 38 years coaching, almost 400 wins, 12 state championships. You gotta love the game. And having said that, let me ask you this. Over the years, 38 years coaching, have you noticed a difference in the talent from back when you first started today?
There's been good years, lean years, and little guys and big guys, so it changes traditionally, over the years. We've been pretty fortunate. We've always got some good kids that committed to the game, and it's been fun. It's a lot of fun with the kids, and I think the longer in it, the more you realize it is a game, and it's not a life-changing situation by any means.
Well, it is for a lot of people. You've brought a lot of good things to a lot of kids that have played for you. I know that. My daughter was a cheerleader back when you won a state championship, and she still talks about that. Let's get back to this game. Tell me, we talk about Martinez and everybody else all the time. Let's talk a little bit about Andy Allison, starting safety, and he's a wide receiver.
Andy's done a good job. He played outside linebacker last year and moved him to safety this year. He's played the flex and the wide receiver and the tight end. He's done a very good job over the years. Of course, Tron's done an excellent job, but this is going to be the toughest defense we've faced. He realized that. They're very good. They're very quick. They run to the ball very, very well.
You're covering some part of my last question. Let me ask you two quarterbacks, both sophomores. I'm impressed with both of them. Can you give me just a little quick clip about both of them and what do you see in the difference?
I don't know that there's a great deal of difference. They both throw the ball very well. They're still trying to learn to see the field, get their reads, still making some mistakes, but they're both great kids. They're very intelligent kids. They work hard. They're just not strong enough right now to take a load of running the ball, a little bit lightweight for that. Both of them young, 14, 15-year-old kids, and as they mature in another couple of years, another year or so, they're going to be pretty doggone good, both of them, before they leave there.
You know who's starting tonight?
No, I got an idea.
Not going to tell me. One last question, Coach, and I know you probably hear this all the time. Tell the people on television here what you see as a head coach for this Phoebus team tonight.
Well, they're a very active football team. Well-coached football team. They run very well to the ball. I think quickness and getting to the ball defensively is the biggest asset. I think they run to the ball much better than they did last year, and they were very good defensively last year. But they're a solid football team. They've had a good year.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you. You're 6-0 too, and everybody in these stands is looking forward to tonight. Thank you so much for taking the time to come over. Guys, I'll send it back over to Bob. Thank you so much. Or back up to you guys. Thanks. Coming at you.
All right, again, Coach Mike Smith for the Crabbers talking about some of their key players, and let's talk a little bit about Tron Martinez. 2/3 of the Crabbers' offense so far this year. Amazing. 198-plus yards a game is also an amazing feat, but tonight he's going to come up against a defense that he hasn't seen this year. So it's going to be real interesting whether the Crabbers' offensive line is going to be able to open up the holes for them.
Exactly, Mike. And on the Phoebus side, they're going to counter with Sean Alston, their big running back. Now, he was injured the first half of last year, did not make that much of an impact. He's healthy this year, and he's second to Martinez in the district in yardage with 119.5 yards per game. So these two running backs are going to be a very huge key to today's game.
Absolutely. Let's send it down to the sideline now where Bob Hintz has the head coach of the Phoebus Phantoms, Coach Bill Dee.
Hi, this is Bob Hintz here on the floor of Darling Stadium tonight. I have Coach Bill Dee with me of the Phoebus Phantoms, undefeated so far this year. And I want to tell you, Bill, I'm just amazed at the young men that you have on your team and how well they have responded, the leadership especially.
Well, a great group of kids, got great senior leadership, and I've been very happy, with the way they progressed and have played so far this year.
Well, you and I were talking earlier, and it's just not the big three in Davenport and Boyd and running back, Austin. The other seniors also step in to do some things.
You got every one of those seniors is contributing one way or another, offense or defense. And we had some underclassmen that have really stepped up and played well for us. And it's been a good mix. Chemistry's been good, and the kids have just played hard, which is all you can ask.
Well, and as a coach, from a coaching standpoint, that's what you want to understand is and know that the kids are giving it their all. But now, used to be when I was coaching, especially if the kids were ahead at the halftime, come out, they were flat. Your guys are not flat.
That's something we worked on. I thought last year there were times we came out and didn't play with the same intensity, and we've done a nice job of that this year.
Well, I tell you, you can sure see it in the stats in the third quarter. Now, Boyd's knee, he is going to play tonight. Tell me a little bit about his knee.
Well, he's got a sprained knee. We kept him out the last couple of weeks, try to get him to, work on it, lift weights, run on it, and he's had a real good week of practice, so we're going to see how it goes tonight.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing him. One last question. Your coaching staff has just been outstanding, have been with you. I mean, it's like in your back pocket. And you and I were talking about that earlier this week. It's nice to have a coaching staff like you've got.
Yeah, we're all on the same page. We've been around each other so long. So, they're a great group of guys. They're hard workers. And, they're out there for the kids, which is the main thing. And it's been a great run with the assistants I've had.
Well, 23 years and it's still going, and you're doing a great job out there.
Appreciate it.
Well, listen, we're going to hear from the sponsors, and then Brent Musgrove and myself will be right back down here.
All right, thanks, Bob. And you're right, we're going to take a look at our sponsors. This is LSC, your local sports channel, and here are our sponsors for the game. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with 2 locations on the peninsula. Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And in part by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home, both inside and out. And by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com. And by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue. Nancy Staten, Director.
All right, that's our sponsors for tonight's game, and if you'd like, we'll send it on down to the sideline where we've got Bob and Brent to talk a little bit about what they discussed with the coaches.
Thanks, guys. I have a real privilege tonight. I've got my old buddy Bob Hintz, who got me involved in this thing, back here with me, and we're going to try to do a little different thing this year. Each of us is going to interview a coach We're going to interview a coach and get back together and talk about what we think we've learned. Of course, given the two of us, we may not learn too much.
Well,
but Bob, let's take it to you. Tell me what you know about Phoebus.
Well, I don't know. I thought I'd go to Hooters first. You know, Mike said, you know, we're going to lose, might as well go to Hooters. I thought that was a great article. Good interview with you, by the way, with Mike. You know, you look at Phoebus, and Phoebus is so strong at all the skill positions, Brent, and that is the big thing in high school. If you've got strong people at the skill positions, then you're going to be pretty tough to beat.
Well, as you say, when you go looking through the stats, of course, Boyd is leaving in the offense and quarterback. Hampton's playing 2 quarterbacks, and they're down at about 8th position. Phoebus has 2 wide receivers listed in the top 10. Hampton doesn't have any, I don't think. But of course, Hampton's got Tron Martinez. Now, this young man is quite a machine to watch. 23 touchdowns. He's going to be tough.
Well, they haven't scored but 33 touchdowns for the whole year, and he's got 23 of them. So that'll tell you what his value is to that team. But, you know, I look at Bill Dee. He's been over there for 23 years, 77% winning since he's been there. Mike has got like 89% winning average. You know, you got 2 coaches here on the peninsula that are the highlight of the state.
Absolutely. You can start with Mike Smith and end with Bill Dee, both right here on the peninsula, and look at the stats. Mike Smith's done it for 38 years. Bill Dee, in the last decade, has pretty much taken over as far as winning more state championships here.
Yeah. Well, he's got a way to go to get to 12, though.
That's right. He's got 3. But it's hard to beat Mike Smith's percentage in his knowledge of the game. You got 2 talented teams here. How do I like to call it? I'm not going to call it, because we both know one thing. Take these books and take all these stats. This is a Hampton game. Play in Phoebus, and you can throw them away.
I'll tell you who's going to win the game. The team that controls the line of scrimmage. If you can control the line of scrimmage, both offensive and defense, you're going to win a football game. I don't care if you're Hampton, I don't care if you're Phoebus, I don't care if you're Bethel, Kickoff, I don't care. You control that line of scrimmage, because that's where the action starts. If you got that down, baby, you're going to have a nice night.
I think you've said it all. I think Hampton's weight on the line is a little bit less than Phoebus. Phoebus has got starting all seniors on the line with all experience. And I don't know how this game's going to go, because I love to see this game. But, Bob, thanks for coming back with us. I hope the people got something out of this.
I just want to tell people I got a sore arm from where you've been it, but that's okay. I'm glad to come back.
I was doing that because of golf. Well, guys, I want to thank Bob. I want to thank everybody else. I hope you enjoy this, and I'll send it back up to you. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it very much. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching live from Darling Stadium, LSC, the local sports channel, on October the 10th, 2008, the big game of the year, Hampton and Phoebus.
And both teams come in here 6-0, 5-0 in the district, and both very powerful on the offensive side. Again, they talked a little bit about Martinez, 2/3 of the offense touchdown, 23 touchdowns already. The young man is averaging almost 200 yards a game rushing. It's just unbelievable.
On the other side, you also have the quarterbacks, Mike, who play a big key to this game, particularly tonight. For Phoebus, they rely somewhat on a balanced attack, but it features a solid passing game with Taj Boyd passing for 143.5 yards per game. He has 7 TDs in only 4 games and completes over 50% of his passes. Now, his backup, Paul Morant, for the last 2 games, has played while Taj Boyd rested. He has 223 total yards, completing 10 of 18 passes, and 10 of those completions went for 4 touchdowns. So this Phoebus offense with Taj Boyd and Paul Moran at quarterback is not missing a beat.
Absolutely not. You know, Hampton also is starting 2 very young men as quarterbacks. They're both sophomores, and the 2 quarterback system so far has worked for the Crabbers. When one of them is hot and the other one's not, Mike will have a tendency to go to either one of them in that respect. But it could go either way. David Watford and Jordan Roby are the young men's names, and combined they average almost 95 yards a game passing. So their passing game is not at the level of Phoebus. They do have 5 touchdown passes. I witnessed one last week to a young man that was an absolute outstanding catch deep in the corner of the end zone. And so that they have the ability to throw the touchdown pass, and they have the ability to be able to throw. And I think that's a lot to have to do with the key in this game, as well as the Crabbers' offensive quarterbacks can be able to handle the pressure coming from the defense.
You're exactly right, Mike. And there are several keys to this game, offense being one, and, of course, defense being the other. Defense is a big key for both teams. As far as Hampton's concerned, their defense is really tough. They're quick. They're allowing 100 yards rushing, 74 passing, total 175 yards, but they're only allowing 11.7 points per game. The defense has to contain Alston tonight. They have to shut down the airways. Hampton's quick. They're going to challenge this Phoebus offensive line, and I think they're going to do well. On the other end, the defense for Phoebus is going to have to stop Martinez. And as you saw on the stats there, this Phoebus defense is the best right now statistically in the district. They've got to stop Martinez. They've got to force the quarterback, the Hampton quarterback, whoever it's going to be, to make the big play, not letting Martinez do it.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the keys of the game tonight.
Well, on offense, we just talked about the defense a little bit. For offense, for Hampton, well, Mike Martinez has got to have a good game. He carries his squad. You heard 23 touchdowns out of 33 for the season. He is their offense. That means the two quarterbacks are going to need to establish a passing attack to loosen up that Phoebus defense, because they're going to key on Martinez. They're going to have to shut him down.
In order to shut him down, what's that going to do? That's going to make the Hampton quarterbacks do their job.
Exactly.
And that will loosen up, obviously, the defensive side of Phoebus. If they're going to stop and key specifically on one player, then the wide receivers become very important in this game for the Crabbers, and the quarterbacks being able to get the ball to their hands.
You're exactly correct.
It's going to be a humdinger here at Darling Stadium. Both teams undefeated. The winner of this game has fast track to the district title, and by the way, the seeding right now in the region has the Phantoms as number 1 in the region and in Division 5. Hampton is seeded 4th right now in Division 5.
Now, what does that mean right now? If things were to stop right now and the season were to end?
And that means that Hampton would come in here and host the Phoebus Phantoms. The Phoebus Phantoms will be the number 1 seed, and they will have to play the number 4 seed Crabbers. And that's if they ended it right here. Now, if Hampton comes away with a win tonight, boy, is that going to change a lot. But there's a big disparity in the point system right now because of the non-district game that Hampton played versus Phoebus. Phoebus has picked up a whole lot of bonus points, and right now they have the top, one of the top rated teams in the region. I think they're 2nd in the region behind a Division 6 school as far as points are concerned. They're one of the highest Division 5 point rated teams in the state.
And there on the screen, you see the Phantom from Phoebus High School, and I don't know whether you can hear in the background because it's hard for Mike and I to hear ourselves right now, but this crowd is going crazy.
You want to know something that's really ironic is that horn that we just listened to is coming from the other side of the field where the Crabbers have a golf cart over there with an air-powered horn, and when they come here, and even if they're on the visitor side, it almost sounds like they're sitting right here in front of us. It's funny.
I thought they were.
That is coming from that sound, that golf cart all the way on the other side of the field. They should be having the playing of our national anthem here shortly as the Crabber Marching Band is getting set to go on the field. And also we will carry the coin toss live also as soon as the officials go on the field. What else can you say? This is the game of the year. Everybody's been pointing straight to this game. I think every newspaper outlet is sitting about 3 or 4 rows over to our right. I think the Daily Press has got just about everybody here that they've got covering this game. And I know for a fact there's 5 computers sitting over there with people sitting in front of it, sending information and pictures from this game straight to the newspaper.
Well, as we watch the Phoebus Phantoms, as they're getting ready to come out onto the field, you can't understate how big this game is. And it's not just big, like you said, in this city. It's big in the district. It's big in the state. And in many cases, it's big in the nation because Phoebus is a nationally ranked team. Now, I know in some publications they're 6, and in some they're 666.
That just shows you the disparity of the voters when it comes to that. You know, that's a coin flip on whoever you know. It's simple as that.
Exactly.
But you know, Hampton has been there for a lot of years. I can remember back when Ronald Curry was here. They won the national championship, so to speak, in one year he was here. So So the national recognition out of the Peninsula District is extremely well known all over the country, as this district is just a thoroughbred for football players, not only in this state but also in the region. People actually move to this area to be able to play for these schools.
And there we see the Hampton High School Crabber Marching Band on the field, the drum major out in front, and those are sharp uniforms. It's the red, white of Hampton along with the black. It's wonderful. It's great looking. They're a fantastic band. And we're going to hear the national anthem here in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, as we take it down to the Hampton High School Crabber Marching Band for the national anthem. You're watching LSC live Friday, October the 10th, 2008.
To the 50-yard line. Hampton's program is under the direction of Major Paul Willard and Master Sergeant Nancy Brown. Air Force Junior ROTC's mission is to build better citizens for Hampton, the Commonwealth, and our nation.
Oh, yes, sir. Awful hard. Oh, yes, sir. That's a lot of energy. I feel like I'm playing football myself.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, our national anthem.
Have the coin toss here between the two teams here in a few minutes. Well, what else can you say?
You can say this is a big night. I'm looking across. You know, earlier I mentioned to you before we were on the air that the Phoebus side here that we're on, which is the home side, was filling up very quickly, a large crowd. And I looked across and I saw the Hampton side and I said, well, they've got a lot of spots over there. The Hampton people must be coming later. I couldn't have hit that more on the rest. That side of the field is packed, and there are people standing along the fence. Folks, if you didn't get in here by now, you're not getting in. The stadium is full.
They've even got extra stands in the off to the sides, and one of them down towards the east end zone is already filled. So they're going to have a good time trying to make sure that all the folks that have come to watch this game are sitting in a seat, because there is no room left on this side, on the Phoebus side.
And here they come, ladies and gentlemen, down the sideline and out onto the field. The Phoebus Phantoms, 6-0, 5-0 in the district, coming out onto the field as the Hampton Crabber Marching Band is still playing while they leave. Great-looking band, Mike.
I believe the Phoebus Phantoms are ranked number 2 in the state by the AP, and the Crabbers were ranked 10th last week. So both teams still getting the recognition as well they should be here locally in the Commonwealth, and we really expect to see an outstanding contest tonight here at Darling Stadium, and it's live.
It's live, ladies and gentlemen, on LSC, your local sports channel, broadcasting from Darling Stadium, October the 10th, 2008, on a great night for football. We had a shot earlier. I wish I could have gotten to it. You saw it. It was a beautiful shot of the sky and the sun.
Wasn't that nice?
It was kind of red, and you can still see out here as we look down toward the west side how beautiful it is out there.
A little overcast and perfect night for football here in the city of Hampton, and it's what a great night for a game.
And I hope sometime during the game, as we were watching the fans come in, Mike, and we can see out the windows here on either side, there are students from Phoebus High School wearing the blue and gold of Phoebus. They have the PHS on them. I saw one young lady had half of her face gold and half of it blue, representing the Phoebus Phantoms. Just a great time for a game. There's Mr. Bob Hintz, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome him back to LSC, local sports channel.
Yeah, turn to your right, Bob, and wave. There you go.
He's going to bring us information from around the stadium today, and we welcome his expertise. Bob, a longtime sportscaster for WHCS.
And we'll head down to the sideline or down to the middle of the field for the coin toss now. Crabbers won the toss and deferred for the second half. All right. So Hampton will be defending the east end zone tonight here at Darling Stadium, as they will be kicking off to the Phoebus Phantoms, as they will be going left to right as we see it on the screen. And if you don't think that these two teams are psyched up, look at the middle of the field now, as the entire Hampton Crabber team came onto the field to whoop it up a little bit. And I haven't seen a Hampton team do that in a long time. Here are your officials tonight. Larry Turlington is the referee. The umpire is Will Gibbs. The linesman is Todd Tucker. The line judge is Tommy Krug. The side judge is Tony Brown, and the field judge is Matt McGahee. Those are the officials for tonight's game.
And ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. We'll start with the Phoebus offense.
You guys do me a big favor.
Phoebus offense, one of the most potent offense in the district this year, Mike, is traveling along at a good clips. Tonight they start at left guard number 62, Dominique Davenport. At left tackle number 51, Charlie Jones. At center number 52, Vic Gaither. At right tackle number 60, Antonio Christian. And at right guard number 50, Jaquan Hogan. At split end number 2, Oman Newkirk. At flanker number 5, Markel Wilkins. And the tight end number 7, Daquan Romero.
That's Skylar Hutchinson kicking off for the Crabbers, and deep is number 5, Markel Wilkins. Ball's taken at about the 5-yard line, right up the middle. Nobody's touching him, all the way out to the 49-yard line, as that's number 35 on the carry. That's Levante Battle. Great run back. We'll continue now with the remaining of the lineup.
In the backfield for the Phoebus Phantoms, the quarterback number 10, Taj Boyd, the fullback number 25, Chaz Robinson, and the tailback number 22, the man to watch, Sean Alston.
43 yards on that return for Battle, as the Phoebus Phantoms line up to start the game here. 1st and 10 at their own, the 48-yard line. Taj Boyd is under center, and he will be the starting quarterback tonight for the Phoebus Phantoms. Hands the ball off to Alston off the left side. Nice play by the defense, as it looks like Sean will pick up about 5 yards on the play.
And here's the defense for the Hampton Crabbers. At defensive tackle number 85, Shea Bumpus. The guard number 55, Rory Nixon. The other guard number 75, Michael Tate. And the defensive tackle number 74, Godfrey Clinton. Outside linebacker number 2, Tron Martinez. Inside linebacker number 66, Tyrell Wilson. Number 99, inside linebacker Monty Haney, and the outside linebacker number 9, Sterling Perry. Cornerback Dion Futch, number 24. Safety number 11, Andy Allison, and the cornerback number 1, Kevin Johnson.
Alston again off the right side this time, breaks the tackle. Looks like he's going to pick up about 3 on the play. He's going to be about 1.5 yards shy of the first down. He gets brought down at the Crabber 44-yard line. So we'll call it 3rd down and 2.
As We watch the large crowd here at Darling Stadium, live from Darling Stadium, October the 10th, 2008. You're watching LSC, your local sports channel, as we bring you the Hampton-Phoebus game. A great game. Everybody, I think, in the city of Hampton is here tonight.
Sure looks like it. 3rd down and 2 now at the Crabber 44. Alston off the right side picks up good yardage, another first down. Looks like he's going to be brought down at about the Crabber 39-yard line. Making his stop on the play for the Crabbers was number 66, Terrell Wilson. That gain is good for the first down as the Phoebus Phantoms continue to drive 1st and 10 at the Crabber 39-yard line.
And Mike, Phoebus is not doing anything new. They're staying with the standard running game. They're going right up the middle off tackle with it with Sean Alston, letting him find out where they can get the holes in this Hampton defense.
Like Davenport up the middle this time for the Phantoms. They're going to pick up about 4 down to about the Crabber 35-yard line.
Out on the field, the Phoebus Phantoms moving from west to east. That will be left to right. We understand there's a little bit of a wind coming from right to left as we watch this last play. Davenport, normally he's a defensive lineman, and he also is a guard on offense, but they'll put him in the backfield, and I believe they call it the elephant when he's back there. And he does a great job as a running back.
They actually have 2 players set up in the aisle. It's Sean Alston again on the carry, and he's going to be brought down shy of the 30. Looks like he's going to pick up about 5 on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1, down just shy of the Crabber 30-yard line.
Watch this last play. The Phoebus offensive line getting some good blocks, and Alston, as he always does, follows that block. He looks for the open, he looks for the crease, and then he hits it. He's real quick, real good at picking up the holes.
3rd down and just about 1.5 yards. Call it 3rd down and 1. 9 minutes, as you can see, on a running clock here in the first quarter. No score. That's Davenport. A little bit of a mix-up, but it looks like he's going to pick up about 2 yards. He's just over the 30-yard line. Let's wait and see where they mark it to see if he got enough of the first down. It's going to be close. Oh, they pulled it back. Not a good spot that I thought, but anyhow, that's going to bring up 4th down and about the distance of the football.
They'll go for it?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be 4th, less than a yard for the Phantoms.
4th down and about a foot. I believe Boyd might take this on his own. No, he gives it to Alston off the left side. Plenty of yardage. A gain of a good 5 yards down to the Crabber 25-yard line. And he'll pick up a first down as the Phantoms offense is on a roll right now.
Mike, they're playing typical Phoebus ball. They're running it, running it, running it. Coach Dee has had some great backs over the years, and here you see another one as Alston just goes right with his blocks off the side. He finds that little crease in there and just flits right through it.
Like Terrell Wilson again. I got the tackle on that time. Here's Alston again. That's 5 yards again down to about the 19-yard line. Looks like where they're going to mark it. Just inside the 20-yard line. So that's a gain of a good 5, maybe 6 on the play.
Mike, they seem to be following Charlie Jones off the left side of the Phoebus offensive line. I don't know whether they know something or what.
Well, they're going no huddle here, and so they're going to continue to keep it on the ground. Here we go again with Alston on the left side. Plenty of room, and he's down to about the 15-yard line. And he is close to a first down. He might be a little bit short. Let's see where they mark it. Yeah, he's a little short. It's going to bring up 3rd and about a foot as the Phantoms are going to stay in a no huddle.
Watch this, Mike. It's the same play. You're getting the blocks down there from Charlie Jones and the others, and Sean Alston's just going there. They're hitting that same spot play after play after play. Hampton's going to have to stop that play, or Phoebus is going to continue all the way to the end zone.
They'll end up shifting the linebackers to that side, and then Phoebus will go the other way. Here we go, 3rd down and about a foot again. Again, there's Alston this time straight up the middle and lots of yards. He's down inside the 5. Fumbled on the play, and it looks like the Crabbers came up with the ball. Are they calling him down? They're calling it he was down. They're giving the ball back. Let's see on the replay here. There's Alston.
Watch this as he goes up and over.
Oh, look at the ball being pulled out of his arms right there. And he is definitely, he's laying on top of a Hampton player. I believe the Phantoms got away with one on that one.
That's one of those tough plays when you see it down there on the field. The referees call it the way they see it, and that's the way they saw it as the player was down, and Phoebus will retain possession.
First down and goal now for the Phantoms. And again, Austin off the left side. This time the Crabbers stop him, but he's close. What happened here? He fumbled the ball into the end zone, and the Crabbers recovered. So tick for tack there, you know what I mean? So the fumble, he loses the ball into the end zone, and the Crabbers come up with it, and they'll have the ball 1st and 10, and they'll start their first drive at their own 20.
Crabber defense bends, but it doesn't break as we watch the replay. Austin off the left side once again.
Look at Terrell Wilson just hammer him. What a job Wilson did. You could see the ball scooting across the end zone.
But that time I would have an argument for the fact that he was down before he got the loose
ball. So the Hampton Crabbers will get started here for the first time as number 5 will be the starting quarterback, David Walford. Again, everything in the backfield. Looks like there's a couple of them lining up back here besides Martinez. 89. Now the Crabbers are going to call timeout.
And here is the Crabber offense, ladies and gentlemen. Left tackle number 66, Tyrell Wilson. Left guard number 75, Michael Tate. The center number 55, Rory Nixon. Right guard number 61, Andrew Alston. And the right tackle number 77, Derek Bailey. The split end number 15, Corey West. The flexor tight end number 11, Andy Allison. And the flanker number 1, Kevin Johnson. In the backfield, it's number 99, the fullback, Monty Haney. Number 5, quarterback David Wofford. And number 2, the tailback, the man to watch, Tron Martinez.
Well, Terrell Wilson for the Crabbers on defense has really stepped up already early in this game.
And speaking of defense, here's the Phoebus defense. Guard number 7, Daquan Romero. The other guard, number 11, Demetrius Ward. The tackles, number 51, Charlie Jones, and number 62, Dominique Davenport. The strong linebacker, number 25, Chaz Robinson. Inside linebackers, number 32, Caleb Taylor, and Levante Battle, number 35. The roving linebacker, number 12, Paul Morant. The cornerbacks, number 27, Rasheed Clark, and number 5, Markel Wilkins, and the free safety, number 38, Colby Goodwin.
The Crabbers just start off with a pitch up the middle to Martinez. He's going to pick up about 3 on the play as he's brought down by Daquan Romero of the Phantoms.
Play.
12 also Paul Morant on the stop for the Phantoms. Gain of about 3, 2nd down and 7.
Hampton Crabbers trying to take advantage of the break as they've just recovered a fumble in the end zone as Phoebus was driving down the field. Hampton now has the opportunity to go on offense and see if they can take it down to the other end.
Stoppage of the clock there was because of one of the Phoebus Phantom players tying his shoe. And here we go again as we are at 6:03 to go here in the opening quarter. No score here at Darling Stadium. After a turnover, the Crabbers have a 2nd down and 7.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the initial broadcast live of LSC, your local sports channel, October the 10th, 2008, Friday Night Football from Darling Stadium.
Martinez, the handoff. He breaks one tackle and fumbles the ball, and it looks like Morant has the ball for the Phantoms. What was that? Tick for tack. Now we got a fumble on the Hampton side, and Paul Morant, number 12, will recover it at the Crabber 27-yard line. So now each team has fumbled the ball to start the first quarter of play.
That might have been number 22 that recovered that. Alston, possibly?
Look at it again. I thought it was number 12. Here's a replay of the game.
Here, and it looks like number 12. That was number 12.
It is Moran on the recovery. Here's number 38. He gets hit pretty hard right there. Colby Goodwin going to pick up some good yardage on it, but the initial hit on him, pretty good shot. Looks like a gain of about 6. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 4 now for the Phantoms.
Colby Goodwin, Mike, he's the protege of Sean Alston. He's kind of taking him under his wing. Colby is probably next in line to be the next running back for the Phoebus Phantoms next year when he's a senior.
Hodge Boyd, the quarterback for the Phantoms, under center. First pass of the game is completed to the Newkirk of the Phantoms, all the way down to the 6-yard line. A nice little pitch and catch there for the Phantoms as Newkirk, number 2.
Mike, this is what you have to watch out for. Phoebus with a balanced attack. If the running game stalls at any time or they feel like they need to give it a little breathing time, they've got a great quarterback who can throw the ball right on the money and a group of receivers that he spreads out the passes to, and it's a powerful attack.
Forced out of bounds by number 11, Andy Allison, and also number 24, Dion Futch for the Crabbers. That's number 22 on the carry that time. That's Alston. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
Good play by the Hampton defense that time as they stacked up the hole that Alston was hoping to go through and was supposed to be there. It wasn't there. The Hampton defense clogged it up. You saw that Alston had to make the jump to get over the players, and when he did, the Hampton defense just nailed him right there. Good defense by the Hampton Crabbers on that play.
Looks like he got back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal now with the ball still sitting at the 6-yard line. 4:13 on the running clock here in the first quarter of play. Looks like the Phantoms have a little bit of a mix-up, and they called their first time out of the first half. Outstanding first quarter so far.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I said earlier, you're watching the initial broadcast of LSC, the local sports channel, coming to you live from Darling Stadium, October the 10th, 2008. We've got a great production crew out here tonight, Mike, and I'd like to just identify some of them so everybody will know how you're getting this game. Our camera people tonight, Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer. Our graphics and animation, the guy that's put up what you're seeing on the screen now, the scores and all the graphics that we were talking about earlier, Mr. Andy Foley. And the slow motion instant replay, the man that hardly gets a moment of rest in the truck because he's having to not only run the cameras back there, he's having to set up the replays and get it to us so we can show it to you as quickly as we do. Mike Nowinski is that man. Sarah Myers is our camera control operator. Renee Camden, the production and audio assistant. Our audio and chief engineer is Don Scherraus. The director and producer, Scotty Bowers. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser and Bob Hintz down on the field, along with Bob Killen up here doing our stats while Brett Musgrove takes the night off.
Oh, absolute great pass. Again, this time the pass is to number 7, Juan Romero, for the first score of the game, a 6-yard bullet from Hodge Boyd to Romero. Phoebus 6, Hampton 0. There's your first score of the game.
A fantastic catch, and we said that Phoebus is balanced. Look how much Romero gets up there to get that ball. Great hands as he catches that pass and is able to control it and bring it down. Phoebus, well balanced, scoring on the pass.
6-yard touchdown pass from Boyd to Romero. Extra point attempt by number 54 of the Phantoms, Eric Crocker, is up and good. So with 4:05 to go here in the opening period of play, the Phoebus Phantoms strike first down and they lead the Hampton Crabbers 7-0 here at Darling Stadium. Peninsula District Football here live.
Hampton City Schools Peninsula District Football live on LSC, local sports channel.
Currently shown on Cox Cable Channel 48.
That's correct. Hopefully we'll eventually be on the air through the internet, and there is hope that down the line we'll branch out a little bit and get on some other channels so that people in other areas can watch us and follow Hampton City Schools, because as you mentioned earlier, Mike, this is the place for football.
Oh, absolutely.
There you have the Hampton Crabbers on the sidelines. You're looking at number 11, Demetrius Ward, the defensive guard, along with some of the young ball boys and some of the JV players on the sidelines.
Talk about the football field. What an outstanding job this crew has done getting this field ready.
We were supposed to have a new type of field this year. It was not able to develop, not due to any fault of the city or anybody else, but the people they were going to get it from, and they have turned this field into a great
Well, I tell you what, the Hampton Crabber player, and I did not see what the number was, but he absolutely lost all vision of the ball. Went right through his hands, and number 33 for the Phantoms, Jaquan Tolliver, just scooped that ball up like it was just sitting there just as pretty as can be.
Watch this. I was watching this trying to figure out what in the world is going on. It goes right through his hands, and he has no idea where it is. He just completely lost it. And Phoebus, quick as they are, came right in and scooped that play up. Again, defense playing a large part in this game, making the breaks, and it's up to the offense now.
That's a second turnover now early here in the first quarter for the Crabbers, as that's a gimme right there. 1st and 10 for the Phantoms, and there's Austin off the left side. Picks up about 4 yards on the plays. He gets down to about the 14-yard line, and the Crabbers cannot afford to keep doing that, I tell you.
No, they can't. Not with this offense that Phoebus has. I mean, they showed you they can move the ball on the ground and they can move it in the air. Speaking of moving on the ground, Mike, I don't know whether you noticed on that last play, but somebody has said something to Sean Alston, because when he grabbed that ball, he double-tucked it and bent over it. He's protecting that ball now. He doesn't want to create any more giveaways for the Hampton defense, who are tough enough on their own without giving them anything.
There's Boyd again. Austin again down inside the 5-yard line to the 4-yard line. That's going to be a pretty good size gain, and it'll be a 1st and goal for the Phantoms at the Crabber 4-yard line. And it looks like the Crabbers offense, or defense right now, is their defensive line is being overmatched by the Phoebus Phantoms offensive line.
They are. Sean Alston getting up a little slow on this. This time he goes off the right side. Hampton playing it to the left. Alston goes to the right, picks up some big yardage, but he did get up a little tired that time. Looks like he might be just not feeling too good.
Terrell Wilson again on the stop, and it looks like another timeout being called by the Phoebus Phantoms. 3 minutes even to go here in the first quarter. Play the Phantoms out in front of the Crabbers 7-0, and offensively right now the Phantoms are clicking. They really are. Their offensive line is just moving Hampton's to the side.
Well, when you've got a defense playing like they're playing tonight, your offense is going to get ample opportunities to move the ball around, and Phoebus has been able to do that all night. Bob earlier mentioned something that I keep harping on all the time. He said this game is going to be won in the trenches, and he's exactly correct.
Right now, that's what's happening.
Exactly. You and I have followed both these teams, and they're both very good on the front lines, and we've credited most of their success not just to the fact they have good running games or good passing games, but they've got good defensive lines, they've got good offensive lines. And right now, it appears that the Phoebus lines are winning that battle that Bob was talking about earlier in the trenches.
Bob sent up word a little while ago that the reason the Phantoms had to call timeout that time is because they had 12 men on the field. Look at the size of that crowd. This is high school here.
You remember those puzzles you did a long time ago that you put together? That's what it, my gosh.
And that's the visiting sideline, folks. This side of the field for the Phantoms there's just as many people over here. It's full. Look at the people around the sidelines. Even the little set of stands that they brought in here is full. 1st and goal for the Phantoms inside the 5. It looks like Davenport on the carry. And he's going to pick up about 2 yards down to about the 3 as Davenport gets stopped shy of the goal line. Bob was just saying it's amazing. I don't think there's enough seats in the stadium to put all the people they've let in here.
Well, I can say this too. Not only are there not any seats, but like I said earlier, I think everybody in the city's here. And if you're not here, you're not where the action is tonight.
Here's Sean Alston off the right side in to score for the Phoebus Phantoms. 3 yards for Sean Alston, and that's going to extend the Phantoms' lead now to 13-0.
You're watching LSC Local Sports Channel, October the 10th, 2008, as you watch Phoebus' second touchdown, this one coming on the ground as Alston, again, going off the right-hand side rather than the left, where they've been pounding all night long, taking advantage of the overplay by the Hampton Crabber defense.
This is Eric Crocker attempting the extra point for the Phantoms. A little bit low this time, but it still is good. And the Phoebus Phantoms now with 2:27 to go here in the first quarter of play lead the Hampton Crabbers 14-0.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching us at home on Cox Channel 48 tonight. You're watching the initial broadcast of LSC Local Sports Channel. And Mike, throughout the past couple of weeks, I've had people calling me and talking to me saying, are you guys going to be live this week? Because, number one, we're not sure what the weather's going to be. We're not sure we're going to be able to get a ticket. We had one lady tell us that she wanted to know if it was going to be live because she was having a party at her house, and she had half the people coming were Hampton fans and the other half were Phoebus fans, and they all wanted to get together and be able to see it together and sit together, because here they'd have to sit on opposite sides.
Right.
So if you're out there watching right now, and I don't know the lady's name, but you've got some people from Phoebus and you've got some people from Hampton, we appreciate you calling and getting the information, but more importantly, we appreciate you watching LSC, local sports channel, on Cox Channel 48 tonight.
And it's this game is also being carried live on the web, as you can go to the Hampton City Schools website and you click on the icon that sends it right there, and you can see the game live on the internet.
Sherry Holt worked on that along with Andy Foley all week long to get that running. So if you're not in our city, of course you can't see the broadcast right now live, but you could pick us up on the web.
And the easiest way to make sure that happens is you put out the word. Make sure everybody, all your friends, know that this game can be seen live on the internet. That kickoff by the Phantoms goes out of bounds, and the Crabbers will get the ball 1st and 10, I believe, from their own 35-yard line.
Illegal
Let's
procedure,
see where they mark.
Blue. We're going to give the ball on the 35.
But the Crabbers will get good field position to start this drive, trailing 14-0, 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. I'll tell you something else that's made this really neat, the local sports channel. Everybody out there that sees all these other games from all the past years, and they're saying, oh my goodness, there's my child playing. You want a copy? Call the station. They'll arrange for you to get a copy of VHS tape or a DVD. It's I've already had multiple people ask me how they can get them. I just said, call Scotty at the station and chit-chat with them. They'll get you what you want. 1st and 10 for the Crabbers. Back to pass over the middle. Intercepted by the Phantoms right there at the 40-yard line. Intercepted by the Phantoms, number 35, Levante Battle. It goes all the way in for the score. So that's 3 turnovers for the Crabbers here in the first quarter of play, and now the Phoebus Phantoms have jumped out to a 20-0 lead.
It's still early in the game, ladies and gentlemen. We're only in the first quarter, but the Phoebus defense is really kicking it into high gear. This pass goes right to Battle. He picks it off, and he's got some open lanes. Look how quick the blockers get in front of him. You talk about a team that's pumped. These are defensive guys getting out there to block for their man to get into the end zone, and Levante Battle got there.
Crocker goes back in again after he just kicked the ball out of the end zone. It looks like he caught the ball at about the 40-yard line, about a 40-yard return. Crocker will attempt the extra point here. There's the ball set down. Kick is up through the uprights and good. And we haven't got to the second quarter yet. 3 turnovers by the Crabbers, and now the Phantoms are out in front 21-0.
That's because the Phantom offense has converted and the Phantom defense has converted those turnovers into points. Local sports channel, Cox Channel 48.
Talk about fast scoring here.
Fast game, Mike. And by the way, speaking of fast game, if by chance you missed this game live, you can see it because we're going to replay this on Saturday, October the 11th at 7 p.m., on Tuesday, October the 14th at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., and on Friday, October the 17th at 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. as we watch on the screen once again that great interception by Levante Battle, number 35, and you see the Phoebus player, number 5, Markel Wilkins, as he gets up there to make a good block to help spring Battle.
Yeah, the pass was intended for number 24, Dion Funch, and he was about 5 yards behind the linebackers, but the ball wasn't thrown high enough, and it was picked off by the middle linebackers that was just sitting there waiting on it. Here is Funch on the return. He gets a hold, gets outside of the kicker, down the sidelines to the 40, to the 30, cuts back to the inside. He's forced out of bounds at the Phantoms' 12-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 13. What a good run back that was as he split the seam and on he went. Let's see where he got the actual. Looks like he caught it at about the 14.
Look at the quickness as he shoots through that hole. He got excellent blocking. Once he found that hole, Mike, he found an opening he could drive two semis through.
This is exactly what he did last week when they had to go over and play the Minchville Monarchs. I mean, he took a kickoff and ran it all the way back. But the Phantoms special teams was able to corral him before he got into the end zone. As the Crabbers will have a 1st and 10 at the Phantoms' 13-yard line. 2:03 to go here in the opening period as the Crabbers trail 21-0. This was a straight snap.
Well, with the turnovers right now that Hampton's offense has given up, its field position is going to be big to them. They're going to need to get down the field, and Futch just helped them tremendously by getting down, not into good field position, but into Phoebus territory.
Deep into Phoebus territory. Gain of 3 on the play from Martinez. First be 2nd down and about 7. Ooh, nice play that time as Martinez is wrapped up by the number 7, Romero, as he just absolutely swallowed up Martinez on the carry as he got inside of the 10-yard line down to about the 9, maybe a gain of 1, and that's it.
Hampton going from the shotgun direct snap right to number 5 for the Hampton Crabbers, David Wofford. And he is just, like Mike said, hit hard right there at the line.
And so far, Ron Martinez has really not had a lot to deal with so far, other than looking right down the throats of the Phantoms defense. That is a direct snap to the Crabbers' number 8, Darius Thomas, and nothing there as he's forced back. He's lucky to actually get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He looks like he's going to lose about the length of the football back near the 10-yard line. That's going to bring up a 4th down play, and it looks like the Crabbers may be going for a field goal here.
Looked like a little bit number 99 for the Crabbers. Monte Haney was a little bit in motion there before the play, but they didn't call anything on that. And it looks like they're going from the old single wing there, Mike, rather than a shotgun type.
Like the Crabbers are going to attempt a field goal from about the 16-yard line, making a 26-yard field goal attempt. And that kick is nice, long kick, and it is no good. It's wide to the left side, but there is a flag on the play. It might be running into the kicker. It's a personal foul, and it looked like, was it number 8, Darius Thomas, that was kicking the ball?
I'm not sure who the kicker was, but it looks like we're going to have a penalty that's going to give Hampton a 1st down.
I believe it was number 6.
I've got a personal foul, roughing the kicker, blue. That results in a 1st down.
I believe that was number 6 that actually tried to kick the field goal, and I don't have him on our roster. So the penalty against the Phantoms will give the Crabbers 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Like they've gone back to Watford as quarterback now.
So Futch has given the Hampton Crabbers their best opportunity so far in this game to score.
Martinez off the left side, bottled up, no gain, right back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Initial contact made by number 25, Chaz Robinson of the Phantoms.
See Robinson there on your screen. This Phoebus defense, Mike, has this great camaraderie, and one of the things they want to do is just keep the other team from scoring. They take it a personal offense if somebody scores on them.
Well, we've come to the end of the first quarter of play. The Phoebus Phantoms lead the Hampton Crabbers 21-0. Send it down to the sideline where Bob Hintz is down on the sideline. What you got down there, Bob?
All right, I got assistant principal from Phoebus High School, Kevin Davis here. And Kevin, you got to be excited about the way they started.
Bob, this is a great start. It's just what we hoped for.
Well, I know you've been in the Hampton system for 20 years. This has been quite a rivalry between Phoebus and the Crabbers.
It is a rivalry, Bob, but you know, Bill's motto is we take one game at a time, and this is just one more game as we go toward our state championship.
There for a few years, you had a real personal interest in this game.
You're right. I watched my own son go through this very Phoebus football program.
And he was a center, wasn't he?
He was a center, and he's at CNU now.
Well, good for him. Well, I appreciate you taking time to come down and talk to us. We got a lot of fans tonight.
Look at them. They're all over the place. It's just what we expected.
Good enough. Well, thanks again, Kevin.
Thank you, Bob.
All right, let's go back up to the booth, guys.
Thanks, Bob.
And thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, the second quarter of this game on LSC Local Sports Channel, live from Darling Stadium, October the 10th, 2008, is sponsored by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is the place for all your hard-to-find hardware needs, including electrical, plumbing, and painting. And by Zooms, with great service and convenient locations throughout the peninsula that can save you time and money. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining and delicious food. Join them for lunch or dinner at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News and on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News.
And there's a handoff to Tron Martinez as we get started here in the second quarter play. 5 yards right up the middle. That's the best gain he's had tonight. Touchdown, Crabbers. Well, we come back here in the second quarter, and Hampton to make one play into the end zone. Here's a replay.
Great camera shot here as Martinez gets it off tackle and just follows his block in for the score. And as we said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, 21-0 Phoebus, but it's still early in the game.
That extra point attempt is blocked, and there's another flag on the play, as I believe the kicker was run into again. Have to wait and see what our referee Larry Turlington has to say. It looks like it might be against the Travers. Waving it off. Okay, so the extra point attempt is blocked. No good. 21-6 now. The Phantoms out in front. At least Hampton got something going here, and of course the penalty helped a little bit on that field goal attempt earlier.
And it's just not a matter of Hampton getting something going here. They have had the mistakes so far in the game, and this gets them back on track. Hampton is a great team. They're not 6-0 because they play poorly. They play very well, and Tron Martinez is going to pick up his yardage. Hampton now feels that it can move the ball on Phoebus. They feel like they can get breaks at times. So this game is starting all over again right now. 21-6. You're watching LSC live, October the 10th, 2008. I want to say hello to all the people out there watching us live. We have people at restaurants throughout the city of Hampton that are getting together to watch this game. You might be at someone's home watching this game. Tell your friends about it. Every Friday night when they have a football game at Darling Stadium between Hampton schools, we'll be broadcasting it live. And we want you to be here.
That's the rest of the season, too, by the way. And we will be playing, televising one game, I believe. It's on Thursday night. I believe it's next Thursday. That's correct. And here is the kickoff down to about the 3-yard line. And that is number 5, Markel Wilkins, as he gets the ball outside the 30 to the near the 32-yard line, where the Phantoms will take over 1st and 10 from their own 32. 21-6 here at Darling Stadium. 11:49 to go here in the second quarter of play. Here's a replay.
Here we see Markel Wilkins takes it up, following his blockers up the middle. Gets a nice return on it. Phoebus always with a good return, setting up good field position for them to start.
Like number 22, Eric Cam, on the tackle for the Crabbers. 1st and 10 from the 32. 11:49 to go here in the second quarter. 21-6.
Watch the Crabber defense now. Let's see if they've made any adjustments to stop Alston. He's pretty much had his way over the left-hand side. Last few times they've tried the right-hand side. We'll see if they have anything to stop Alston with.
Dodge Boyd under center, set up in the eye. There's Alston. Battles his way outside the 35-yard line. He gets near the 37-yard line. That may be a gain of about 5 for Alston. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Phantoms at their own 37-yard line.
Hampton's going to have to get a little bit better penetration than that, Mike. It appears that the Phantoms are just getting enough to beat them down in the pit, giving Alston enough chance to get that extra yardage. And you know the type of driver Alston is, and Martinez the same way. These kids keep their legs moving. They don't stop unless you get them down.
Alston again off the right side this time. Go left, go right. It doesn't make any difference. The offensive line is doing their job, and they're right now just pushing the Crabber offense away from the line of scrimmage. He's going to gain about 7 on the play out to about the 45. That's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Phantoms.
You see him go left, and then he comes back to the middle, And he's just following his blockers down there. Vic Gaither, Charlie Jones, Antonio Christian, Jaquan Hogan, and Dominique Davenport when he's on the line and not in the backfield.
Like Taj Boyd is changing the play at the line, back to throw. Passes outside here to number 5, Wilkins. It's complete, forced out of bounds at the Crabber 45-yard line. Tron Martinez, number 2. That's a gain close to 10 yards, and it looks like they're going to give him the first down. Call it a 10-yard gain.
Markel Wilkins wide open that time. He's had 9 receptions so far this year. That should make 10 or 11. Got over 157 yards. He averages about 26 yards per game. As you see him on the bottom of your screen, nobody within a few yards of him. Nice pass by Taj Boyd. If Phoebus continues to be successful in their passing game, it's going to do nothing but allow Alston to have the opportunity to get more yardage.
I guess I spoke too soon. I thought they had already given them the first down. They're bringing the sticks across now to measure it.
Bill Dee peeking in on the side there to see how the chains line up.
It is a first down. 10-yard gain for the Phantoms. 1st and 10 at the Hampton 45-yard line. Already leading in this game, 21-6.
You know, mentioning Bill Dee, the coach of the Phantoms, I also want to mention another young man out there, Coach Van Dyke of the Phoebus Phantoms, who a while back had a little bit of a problem, Mike, with his heart and his ticker, and he had to go get some work done on it, and he's doing real well, and we'd like to wish him the best of luck throughout the rest of the season. He's a fantastic young man, known him for years, and I'm just so glad he's able to be on the sideline.
Alston off the right side. Nice pickup of about 9 yards as he gets the ball down to the Crabber 36-yard line. Gain of 9. And you talked about Coach Van Dyke. He and I went to school together, so I've known him a long time. He and I played Little League together down in Hampton Wind. He's
Little League?
Yeah, baseball.
Yeah, I thought you said he was young.
Young, all right. He's as young as I am. 10:03 to go on the running clock, as you can see the clock here at the superimposed at the top of the screen. Boyd hands the ball off to the up back, and I believe that is number 25, Chaz Robinson. He's going to pick up about 5 down to the Crabber 30-yard line. That's going to be good for a first down.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we show you this game live from Darling Stadium, October the 10th, 2008, on LSC, local sports channel, I want you to watch the Phoebus offensive line. Look at the surge forward. They're getting 3-4 yards on the Crabber defense before Alston even gets to the line of scrimmage. So he's got an easy walk of 3 to 4 yards, and he looks for that crease and goes. The Crabber's defense is going to have to get quicker and beat the Phoebus linemen.
Boyd under center, trying to get the Crabbers to jump offside. Takes the snap, hands the ball off to Alston. Breaks a tackle or 2, 3 or 4, and he's all the way down to the 15-yard line. Looked like 4 Crabbers actually had him down, and he broke all 4 of the tackles.
2 nice blocks on that play right at the line, Mike. Allowed Alston a hole to go through.
Let's count how many players actually had their hands around
Look at the
them.
block right there on the left.
1, 2, 3, 4, and it took the 5th one to finally put him down. Outstanding running by Sean Alston right now. And I tell you what, you got to give credit to the offensive line because they're the ones that are opening up the holes.
Exactly.
1st and 10 from the Crabber 16-yard line, 1st and 10. Alston again, this time he stops short of the line of scrimmage, spins out, and looks like he's going to gain about 1.5 yards as he's brought down by the Crabbers, number 66, Terrell Wilson. Give him 1.5 yard pickup on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and a long 8 as the ball sits just shy of the Crabbers' 14-yard line.
At that time, Mike, the Crabber defense was able to break down the offensive line of the Phantoms, and most of them were lying on the ground by the time Alston got up there, and he had nowhere to go because the Crabber backers were right there to stop him.
Alston coming out of the game now. Entering for the Phantoms is Colby Goodwin, number 38, so he's the tailback. Fullback is Chaz Robinson, and under center is Taj Boyd. Snap a handoff to Chaz Robinson up the middle. Look at him battle for yardage as he gets the ball all the way down to about the 11-yard line, and that was the fight. They were actually battling down there for that yards, wasn't he?
He didn't want to stop. He kept the legs driving and driving and driving. And I know this young man, and he is a really fantastic young man. He and his brother, who's one of the coaches for the Phoebus Phantoms. And his legs don't stop moving. If you don't stop the legs, he's going to keep on going. And he's a big, strong young man.
And once Terrell Wilson got his hands wrapped around him, that was as far as he was going to go. Believe me, one of the best linemen defensively in the state for the Crabbers is Terrell Wilson.
Excellent
number
young
66.
Man.
3rd and 5 now for the Phantoms. Back to pass is Boyd. A screen pass over here to Chaz Robinson. Fumbles the ball. And now we have to wait till it unpiles to see who actually got the ball back. He does not have the first down. Looks like the Phantom did recover the ball. I believe number 7 got it. Juan Romero.
Great coverage on that play, Mike, as we watch it. It appears that it looks like Hampton falls for it, but they don't. Look at the coverage back here in the secondary.
Yes, sir. Great play by the Crabbers, number 9, as Sterling Perry knocked it out of his hands. And it looks like number 54 for the Phantoms are going to attempt a field goal here. Eric Crocker. Looks like the ball's going to be set down at about the 21, so we'll call it a 31-yard field goal. It's 4th down and 8 now for the Phantoms. Crocker for 31 yards. Looks like it's going to be wide left. And it is wide left and couldn't quite get under the ball. So the Crabbers hold, and they will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 6:31 to go here in the second period of play. The Phantoms out in front of Hampton by a score of 21-6.
Once again, I want to thank everybody out there as we're coming to you live from Darling Stadium, October the 10th, 2008. Bringing you Peninsula District Hampton City School football live. That means you can see it right now. That means the people out there that are looking
on LSC too
can see these guys.
Martinez as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And he fumbled the ball. They're giving the ball. They're saying that he fumbled the ball. That's turnover number 4. As it looks like it's Austin, and no, it's not Austin, it's number 32. That's Taylor for the Phantoms. So that's turnover number 4 here in the first half for the Crabbers, and they are really having a hard time holding on to the ball.
They are that. Let's see if we can see this on the replay.
First play.
Phoebus in a normal set. They don't blitz anybody. They just stop the runner right at the line of scrimmage. The ball comes loose. 4 turnovers, like you said, from a team that is normally fundamentally sound.
3 fumbles and an interception that was returned for a touchdown. So 6:23 to go. The Phantoms have the ball 1st and 10 from their Crabbers 21. Back to pass with Boyd. Deep to the left end zone, and it's overthrown, intended for number 5, Markel Wilkins. And covering for the Crabbers is Andy Allison, number 11. Pass is incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from the Crabber 21-yard line. Goodness gracious, 4 turnovers.
It's not what you expect out of a Mike Smith coached Hampton Crabber team, but again,
you got to give Phoebus credit.
Over.
You got to give credit to the line of Phoebus, offensively and defensively. Right now, they are really taking it to the Crabbers. Back in the shotgun, into pass, over the middle, is deflected at the line of scrimmage. It's incomplete as it was kind of scooped up there. I believe the intended receiver was Wilkins, number 5. No.
Sure, but Phoebus might be lucky that one was tipped and dropped, because watch this. It looks like he's throwing to the Crabbers right here. I don't see any.
There was the intended receiver, I believe, was the one that actually scooped it up, number 7, Romero. He was wide open. And what do we have, a timeout now being called? I'm not sure who called a timeout. It looks like it might have been Hampton, as they're down to 1. Hampton now has 1 timeout. Well, that was actually their last timeout of the half, and Phoebus has 2 remaining.
Local Sports Channel, LSC, coming to you on Cox Cable, Channel 48. If you're watching this live and you want to see it again, you can watch it on Saturday, October the 11th at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, October the 14th at 7 a.m. and at 7 p.m. and Friday, October the 17th at 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. as we bring you sports and nothing but sports on LSC, your local sports channel. Mike, LSC is going to bring you sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the sports that Channel 46 WHCS and Channel 5 and 29 has recorded over the past 25 years between all the Hampton High School teams, the Bethel teams, Kickoff, and Phoebus.
Over the middle is, nice pass, and I tell you what, the stick was just as good as it looked like Terrell Wilson on the tackle as it was, the pass was complete to Chaz Robinson down inside the 15-yard line down to about the 13. That's going to bring up a 4th down and a long 2 as Terrell Wilson really puts a lick in.
That was not only a good stop, it was an important stop. But what we noticed on that, too, was Taj Boyd's getting a lot of time in the backfield to search the receivers.
Here we go, 4th down and a long 2 as the Phantoms are going to go for it this time. Boyd again in the shotgun. Back to pass. And it's a nice play as the Crabbers, was it 55?
85, Shea Bumpus.
That's who it was. Nice defensive play as the Crabbers block the pass, knock it down, and they will take over 1st and 10. So the Crabbers defense, holds again. They really need to with being down 21-6 here. They will take over 1st and 10 from their own 13-yard line with 5:26 to go. Watch this. Defensive player got up, and I tell you, the offensive player was wide open.
Again, Taj Boyd getting plenty of time, just couldn't get that pass into the hands of his receiver.
Martinez off the right side, gains a few yards there. Looks like he's going to pick up about 5 as he gets outside the 15 near the 18. Give him 5 yards on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 5 from the 18-yard line. Right now, David Walford, number 5, is quarterback in the Crabbers. Two wide outs to the near, one to the far. They're in the I formation. Again, the ball's handed off to Martinez off the left side. Picks up a few yards outside the 20 to near the 21. Give him about 2.5 yards on the play. That will bring up a 3rd down play for the Crabbers.
I don't think you give Tron Martinez anything. I think he earns it.
So far he has.
There again, you see some of the crowd, lots of people out there. Matt Llewellyn, a friend of mine, is out there somewhere with his lovely friend, Leah Kramer, along with Mallory Cervantes. I hope they're enjoying the game. So far, ladies and gentlemen, Martinez, 10 carries in the game for 26 yards. Just to give you an idea of how this Phantom defense is bottling him up, forcing the quarterbacks to make the plays, and they're sticking with Martinez until now.
Well, there is, and I believe, in all honesty, I think that's a good call. I really do. The pass was intended for the Crabbers' number 8, Darius Thomas, and it looked like it was pass interference by the Phantoms as he went over the back.
Yeah. As I watched it on the screen here, it looked like he kind of laid his hand up there. We'll see it here in just a second.
If he goes over, well, he went over his back. I don't know. That's one of those plays that the referee was standing right there looking at.
Yeah, well, you saw his left hand back up behind him. Before that, what you didn't see, his hand was right on top of him, and he leaned over, and when he realized what was going on.
Defensive interference, blue. Automatic 1st down.
So a 15-yard penalty from the spot. That gives the Crabbers a 1st and 10 as they get a little bit of breathing space here outside their own 35-yard line. 1st and 10, we'll call it the 36.
Other than that long return on the kick, Hampton hasn't had a lot of good field position, Mike.
This is one of their better field positions, and Martinez is hit like a brick. I mean, he was going through the front line there, and it looked like number 7, Romero, just put a stop to him as he was bent over. I mean, it almost looked like he ran into a wall.
It does. Watch this replay, folks. He gets the ball right here. Watch. Bam.
Boing.
Andy, that's one that you're going to have to show again and again.
Gets back to the line, and that's it. 2nd down and 10. The Crabbers don't have any timeouts left, I don't think. According to the scoreboard, they're out of them. I'm sorry, that was Phoebus that was out. So, okay, the Crabbers did have 2. My mistake.
3 minutes and 23 seconds left in the first half here. Once again, if you're watching us now, you're watching live LSC Local Sports Channel, bringing you sports from the City of Hampton schools that are playing in the Peninsula District. And, Mike, LSC is not going to bring just sports from the local high schools. Our head engineer, Don Sherrouse, is adding a lot of other shows to LSC. You're going to be seeing things such as documentaries from Grenoble's 1968 Winter Olympic Games documentary. You're going to see coaching at Newport in 1968. You're going to see biographies such as the Lou Gehrig story, Jackie Robinson story, the Joe Louis story, the Babe Ruth story. We've got vintage sports newsreels spanning from the 30s through the 60s on LSC.
Second down and 10 now as the ball's handed off to Austin. Breaks a tackle, gets about 5-6 yards on the play. Looks like he's going to be brought down at the Crabber 41-yard line. That was Martinez, too, by the way.
Martinez gets the ball, makes a nice move there, and cuts back into the open area to get some yardage.
Talk so much about Austin so far tonight, it's almost repetitive, you know what I mean? By the way, Austin, we talked about Austin. He has 18 carries for 97 yards, so he's 3 yards shy of 100 yards already here in the first half. They've been using him a lot tonight, I'll tell you.
They have. They've been saying, all right, Hampton, if you're going to stop us, you're going to stop Austin.
So 3rd and 5 now for the Crabbers. Back to throw. Nice pass over the middle, and that's Futch, number 24. And there is a flag down. There's 2 flags on the play. And it looks like the flags are being thrown right at the line of scrimmage. I'm wondering whether the man in motion left early. Let's see what the call is. It looks like it might be coming back.
Ooh.
Illegal man downfield on a regular pass play. Let's see if we can see it.
That's too bad because Futch runs a nice pattern here. Look at him as he cuts across and then splits the seam, gets the open area.
Got an ineligible downfield, white.
He was 5 yards up in the line of scrimmage. Well, that one's coming back. 5-yard penalty will make it 3rd down and close to 10 now for the Crabbers. 2:26 to go. That was a very nice play, too, by the way.
Yes, it was. It was a good throw. It was a good catch. It was an excellent pattern. The run on that pattern was just super. Biggest crowd of the year here at Darling Stadium. Hampton and Phoebus, you usually get most of the people and the biggest crowds there.
I don't think Hampton has but 10 players on the field.
Right, I just counted 1, 2,
10. There's only 10. They had 2 wide receivers that were out there battling as to who was supposed to be on the field. And before you know it, they're both gone.
Maybe 10 players works.
So the
so you can move it downfield.
The Crabbers take their final timeout, so neither team has a timeout left in the last minute and 57 seconds here in the first half. 21-6 now. The Phantoms out in front.
There you see Daquan Romero, number 7, along with number 25, Chaz Robinson on the sidelines, along with the great crowd here at Darling Stadium. They're not at home watching LSC live on Cox Cable Channel number 48. They're watching it live right here at the stadium.
That's right. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe and Brent Musgrove, who has left us here this evening to go to his school reunion. And we got Bob Killen and up here doing the stats, and Bob Hintz down on the sidelines.
I'd say this still looks like that puzzle you put together when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Of all those. I don't think I could do that.
Fumble! Looks like the Phantoms might have it this time, folks, and they do. Turnover number 5 for the Crabbers. As the pitch, I don't believe ever even got to Martinez. My goodness gracious.
Defensive play after defensive play after defensive play. There's the hit right there.
That was actually a fumble by the quarterback. He turned around to try to get the ball to Martinez, but unfortunately he was already on his way down. So turnover number 4, that's 5. That's 4 fumbles now on the Crabbers here in the first half. Now the defense has to try to hold the Phantoms from scoring. My goodness, offensively the Crabbers are having problems. Back to pass. Moyd being chased behind. Nice play as the Crabbers tackled their number 85 on the play, and that's Shaw Bumpus as he tracks down the quarterback for the Phoebus Phantoms, Taj Boyd, and he's going to gain about 4 yards down to the 31-yard line. That's going to bring up a second down and 6 for the Phantoms.
Good coverage by the Hampton secondary that time. Deion Futch, Andy Allison, and Kerwin Johnson had all the receivers covered, and Taj Boyd had time back there. He just could not find anybody because they were covered. He did the best thing in running it.
Still picked up positive yardage, though, 4 yards on the game. Boyd on a draw play this time to Sean Alston inside the 20, all the way down to the 15-yard line is Alston as he's brought down by the Crabbers number 65, Derek Adams. Nice gain by Alston on the play that will give them a 1st and 10 from the 17.
Watch the blitz in the middle of your screen by the Crabbers, and that overplays that run, and Alston has open area to run through, and that worked well for the Phantoms that time.
The 1st and 10 now for Phoebus. Handoff is to Alston again as he battles his way inside the 10 down to about the 7-yard line. That's close to a 10-yard gain. We'll have to wait and see if he gets a 1st down out of it. He's close. As the ball is spotted at the 7.
Here you see Alston get it on a semi-draw play off the left-hand side, and he just picks his way through there. He gets the blocks, and he looked like a ball in a pinball machine there as he just bounced from side to side to pick up that yardage, Mike. He is having a good game.
The Crabbers' defensive line is just being plummeted up front there as the offensive line of Phoebus is just basically taking it over. There's Susan.
Oh, Susie.
You look a little bit to the right there, you'll see the Phoebus coaching staff sitting there in the window.
There you'll see in the bottom of the screen a young man with a gold and blue face, just like the young lady that I saw earlier.
So the Phantoms get a 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal from the 7, and it looks like they got, what is it called, the elephant set up now, as Davenport now will be the fullback, along with the Phantoms' Sean Alston, and also back there is Chaz Robinson. So 3 backs behind Taj Boyd, nobody out wide, so you know this is a run. Alston inside the 5, down to about the 3. Looks like he's stopped by the Crabbers number 81, Curtis Ingram.
Either team with any timeouts, if Phoebus wants to put some points up on the board, they're going to have to get to the line of scrimmage quickly here and start the next play.
Like they set it down at the 4, so he's going to gain about 3 yards on the play as we're down to 15 seconds to go, and he spikes the ball there at the line of scrimmage, does Boyd, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal, and that gives them a little bit of time to decide what play they want. Neither team, again, has a timeout, and look, I don't understand why the Phoebus team's coming over here to the sidelines.
Well, you got 2 chances here with 13 seconds left. You can throw a quick pass and try and get it in. Of course, you have the possibility of it being intercepted. But if it's incomplete, you got 1 shot at running it in. Or you can try running it, get back real quickly, and throw a toss up to the end zone and hope somebody can get it.
Phoebus has 12 players on the field, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There comes a player off. 25 seconds, I can't believe it ain't come up yet. Boyd back to pass. He fakes it, hands the ball off to Alston around the left end and out of bounds. He did not make it, but there's still 8 seconds left on the clock.
Important thing there, Mike, was that he got out of bounds. They ran the play toward the sideline rather than passing. That way, if he gets in the end zone, it's a touchdown. If he doesn't, he has the opportunity, as you'll see here on the replay, to get out of bounds and stop the clock. Great move by Taj Boyd. He had me fooled on that one.
Looks like it is 4th down and goal now from about the 3-yard line, and they're still going to go for it. We're down to 8 seconds, so last play of the half may be here. Boyd back, hands the ball off to Alston off the left side, and he is battling it. And right now he is not going to get in as the Crabbers defense comes up big as they stop him prior to the end of the second quarter.
And that is a big, big stop for the Crabber defense that has let them go all night.
All right, so we're at the end of the first half. The Phoebus Phantoms out in front 21-6 over the Crabbers of Hampton High School. Stay tuned for halftime entertainment. We'll be back in a short bit.
Live on LSC.
here live at Darling Stadium. The Phoebus Phantoms out in front of the Hampton Crabbers here by a score of 21-6. As we get set to start the third quarter of play here, Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, Bob Killen, and also down on the field, Bob Hintz. 21-6 here at half. And I tell you what, I'll be honest with you, it could have been a whole lot worse than that. The Crabbers had 5 turnovers in the first half play, 4 of them by fumbles.
It's been one of those games so far for the Hampton Crabbers. Defense has played a big part in this game tonight, and unfortunately it's been the Phoebus defense that's made the most of it, forcing 5 turnovers and capitalizing on them. Here's some recaps as we look back at the game. Here is the Hampton High School fumble that is recovered by Phoebus. That's the first of 5. Here's the first touchdown to Romero, who makes a great catch in the end zone. Now, in this play, ladies and gentlemen, watch the kickoff as it goes right through the Crabbers' arms. He doesn't know where the ball is. He loses it. It's picked up by the Crabbers, and that leads to a touchdown as well. Here we're going to see the touchdown by the Crabbers as Alston gets it and takes it in. Next play we see is going to be an interception by Levante Battle. It's thrown right there. He's got great hands. Watch Markel Wilkins, number 5, come up, make the block, springs him open, and Battle takes it all the way in for the Phoebus score. Now here, finally, Hampton gets a little bit of a break. A super return by Futch as he takes it up the middle, hits the sidelines, and gets deep into Phoebus territory. Great field position for him. And here's the attempted field goal by the Crabbers, and it's wide to the left and doesn't count. And finally, the touchdown by the Hampton Crabbers as Tron Martinez goes in for the only Crabber score so far, Mike, of this game, as the score stands 21-6 in favor of.
Hey, let's take it down to Bob. He's got somebody down there. Go ahead, Bob.
Thanks a lot, Mike. I've got Conky Sorrells, a longtime Hamptonian who's born and raised in Hampton, but you've got a connection with not only the Crabbers but with the Phantoms.
Oh yeah, I got connection with all of them. My wife and I both went to Hampton. Kids went to Kickoff and Phoebus, and grandkids at Phoebus, and other nephews and all from Bethel. So all the Hampton schools, so I can't lose.
Well, it's kind of neat to come to a game like this. Did you expect this kind of crowd tonight?
Well, I got a phone call. I better get over here a little bit early because they were lining up real early.
Well, I tell you, when I got here, I couldn't believe how many cars went. I got here at 5. So, but I see you got your running mates up there with you.
Oh, yeah, Mike's here. I brought the car over this afternoon and parked it, and then got a ride over here, so we didn't have to worry about getting a parking place.
See, this guy knows what he's doing. Okay, guys, we'll go back up to you. Thank you, Conk.
Thanks, Bob.
Conky Sorrell, what a guy. He's been around, and he's a Superman. He's been involved with sports most of his life.
Let's look a little bit at our first half stats here. First downs, that tells the difference. I'll tell you what, Phoebus had 10, the Crabbers only had 2. Look at the rushing yardage as Tron Martinez was held to 23 yards on 13 carries. And rushing 143 yards for the Phantoms, and Sean Alston had the majority of those. I believe he had close to 130 yards in the first half. Passing, I don't think Phoebus had an incomplete pass. They completed 5. Well, he says they were 5 of 8, so 52 yards passing, and that really opened up the running game. The little bit of passing they did that the Phantoms sure did open it up for the running. The Crabbers punt returns and sacks and all, there really hadn't been much there. The fumbles lost. The Crabbers lost 4 fumbles, and they also had an interception that was run back for a touchdown. That pretty much tells the story here, 21-6 as we get set for the third quarter of play. And it looks like the Phantoms are going to get called for offside on the kickoff, and that'll push them back 5 yards.
And while we've got a short little stop right here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about the sponsors of the third quarter. They are Eric Thompson Realtor, a Hampton City Schools alumni and former athlete. You can call Eric at 685-3127 to buy or sell a home or property. And it's sponsored by Zooms. Once again, David Allen and Zooms are sponsoring student athletes in Hampton. Zooms with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. And by Kelly's Tavern, good food at good prices. Bring the entire family to enjoy one of their delicious meals at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News and Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And finally by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports offers screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411. Talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara, our sponsors for the third quarter of this game.
Darius Thomas for the Crabbers on the return. A little bit of pushing going on here, and there goes the flag. And let's see if they'll flag both of them. They really should, because they were both, a player from each team did it. But obviously the second push by the Phantoms was probably the one that was seen. Let's see what the referees call here.
Well, it was seen on our screen by everybody because they were front and center on close camera.
That really, in all honesty, should go against both teams. It should be just an offsetting thing.
Here's the replay after the tackle. You can see it right there, sort of to the right center. There's the little bit of a late block there, and there's the shove.
That's what it was. It was called on both teams, so that'll be. Offsetting fouls will give the ball to the Hampton Crabbers. They'll have first and 10 from their own 32.
I've never understood that, offsetting penalties. You do something bad, I do something bad. We both ought to be penalized for it. We shouldn't get away with it.
Where would the ball end up?
I don't know. It ought to end up somewhere, but I watch it on NFL, I watch it on college, I watch it. It's offsetting penalties, and everybody's happy and they walk off.
Goodness gracious. David Watford will be coming out here to start the quarterbacking for the Crabbers here in the third quarter of play. Butch coming out wide to the near side. Allison set up in the slot. Watford hands the ball off to Tron Martinez, and nothing given there either. He might have got back to the line, and that's it. And I tell you what, the outside of the line for the Phantoms just have their number.
They do. DeQuan Romero, Demetrius Ward, Charlie Jones, Dominique Davenport, they're not allowing Tron Martinez anything. As you see him just stuffing right there, there's 4 or 5 of them there. Hampton's going to have to go to the passing game. They're going to have to put it in the hands of these 2 young quarterbacks and open up that defense for Phoebus.
Tron
Martinez not getting anywhere.
We talked about that earlier. It was going to be a case where the Crabbers are going to have to use a little bit of the passing in order for it to work. Back to pass is Wofford. Short pass underthrown. The intended receiver was number 99, Monte Harvey, or Haney, I'm sorry. Monty Haney. Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and long. 3rd down and 9 as the ball sits at the 33-yard line of the Crabbers.
If we've seen one thing tonight, Mike, in the first half, we've seen the fact that Phoebus and Sean Alston can move the ball on the ground. Hampton and Tron Martinez cannot. And that is going to be a big difference in this game if it continues to go in that direction.
And so far, Tron Martinez has really been stifled. Back in shotgun, back to pass is Wofford. Over the middle, wide open and incomplete. The ball was thrown just behind the intended receiver, and that was Funch, number 24. That might have gone a long ways, folks, if that had been caught. Incomplete pass. That's going to bring up a 4th down. The ball was thrown behind the receiver.
I tell you, Futch seems to be getting open at will almost in this secondary, and they're just not able to get the ball to him where he can catch it. Coming into the game, he only had 3 receptions for 90 yards. A great average per game.
Eric Adams, number 65, into punt for the Crabbers. I believe this is the first punt of the night.
It is. A short one.
Short punt. Got a Crabber bounce as it gets inside the 40 down to about the 36-yard line where it is down by the Crabbers. So Phoebus holds to start their defensive series there in the first half, or third quarter, and Phoebus offense will take the field now for their first shot here in the second half.
And we're bringing you the second half live, just like we brought you the first half live on LSC, local sports channel. You're watching on cable channel 48 Cox tonight. The opening game for LSC, local sports channel. And our production crew tonight, cameras, Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, Steve Fryer. The graphics animation, Andy Foley. Slow motion instant replay, Mike Nowinski. The camera control operator, Sarah Myers. Production and audio assistant, Renee Camden.
1st and 10 now for the Phantoms. Back to pass is Boyd. Again, the same pass they've thrown over here already tonight. That is completed to Newkirk as he is brought down after a gain of about 7 yards on the play down to the Phantoms 44.
Good play for Phantoms as the Crabbers blitzed on that, and the pass was complete to a receiver who was wide open. I'm trying to pick it. Number 2 was Omen Newkirk. He was wide open over there. It was a good play. I thought it might go for some more yardage, but
if the pass had led the runner, he had a long way to run on that one. That tackle was made also on that play by Andy Allison, number 11. 2nd down, a long 3 now. Pitches out to Austin. He battles his way and bounces off the players and finally is brought down. Not yet, but now he is. All the way down to the Crabbers' 46-yard line. That's a 10-yard gain after he was actually hit way back there.
By his own man. He ran into his own man, Mike. He would have gone further if he hadn't run into his own man. Watch, boom. He runs into number 7 for the Phantoms, Daquan Romero. And if he hadn't been there, Austin may have picked up some more yards.
The 1st and 10, the ball sits at the Crabber 46-yard line as the Phantoms are on the move again. So far tonight, they've been able to run the ball at will. Boyd hands the ball off again to Austin. This time he is met by the Crabbers' number 75, Michael Tate, at the line of scrimmage, but Austin does lean forward and gain about 3. See where they mark it.
That time, though, Mike Bumpus, Nixon, Tate, and Clinton, the defensive line for the Crabbers, held their ground, and number 75, Michael Tate, was able to wrap up the runner there.
3 yards on the play, 2nd down to 7.
Much better play by the Crabber defensive line that time.
A little breezy up here right now, isn't it?
Yeah,
Feels
it is.
good.
It's blowing away all my notes here.
Dodge Boyd back to pass over the middle, wide open to the receiver, Wilkins, as he is brought down near the Crabber 25-yard line. Brought down by Andy Allison, number 11, as a nice play and a wide open receiver all the way to the Crabber 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for Phoebus.
Nice open field tackle by Andy Allison. A good pass by Taj Boyd for the completion. But watch Andy Allison with a good open field tackle right there. Hits him head on.
Well, you wonder where Hampton's defense was on that time because the entire middle of the field was wide open.
Yes, it was.
Fumble play as it was pitched back to the Phantoms' number 38, Kobe Goodwin, and he is brought down back on the 29-yard line, a loss of about 4. That's the first play tonight, I believe, that they've actually had a loss of yards.
You can almost say Colby Goodwin outran that one. Speaking of outrunning.
Hey there. Grab the mic.
Dr. Rousseau has been outrunning around Darling Stadium, congratulating everybody on both sides. We're going to talk to him in just a minute, right after this play.
Second down and 14, back to pass. Being flushed out of the middle, and he's down at the 30-yard line as he will lose a yard on the play. Brought down by the Crabbers' number 75, and that is Michael Tate. And guess who is sitting beside us here? Here's a replay.
Good evening.
Hi there.
How are you, Dr. Russo? As we watch this replay on here, you've probably had a busy night. This is the biggest game in the city of Hampton.
Well, we actually flew back. A bunch of us flew back early today from a conference just to make sure we're here. And I know the Crabbers were sitting on the first half side. They're a bit disappointed. So hopefully there'll be a little bit more of a game coming up.
What's the feeling on the Crabber side at this time?
A little surprised. I think everybody thought that they'd come out and really give Phoebus a game, and so far, 21-6 it is. I don't know.
It might be a better game if they didn't have 5 turnovers.
Well, that's for sure. You turn the ball over, you're not going to be scoring points. That's for sure.
You get the feeling that the fans have given up on the Crabbers?
Not at all. Not at all. I think everybody over there, when we left just before halftime, really had an optimistic viewpoint, but Phoebus is tough. Hampton, I think, is playing a gutty game right now. And, you know, both Bill Dee and Mike Smith do a great job of coaching the kids. So it's great to see them out there.
Well, you know, win or lose this game, I mean, neither team has anything to be ashamed about. They both come in here 6-0, and they're both going to go to the playoffs. They just
got two great coaches, great group of kids, great support. I mean, you know, it just makes this is as good as it gets.
Third down and 15.
And we were literally in Texas this morning and had to apologize for coming back. And every one of the Texas schools said, we understand.
Oh, they do. If you've ever been to Texas and Oklahoma, football is life there.
They understood.
They did.
Boyd was sacked on the play by Monte Haney on the play for the Crabbers. He'll lose about 4 more yards. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 19.
That's one of the first times, as you see this great camera shot by our crew, one of the first times the Crabbers have been able to get in the backfield and get to the Phantoms. The offensive line for Phoebus, Dr. Rousseau, for most of the game, has surged forward to be able to push the Crabber defense, which is very quick, about 3 or 4 yards forward, giving Sean Alston the opportunity to have 4 yards before he even starts.
They're two excellent teams, Paul. I mean, yeah, when you look at everything and you look what, again, how well coached both these teams are, it's a great exhibition of what great high school football is. Oh, no.
Why in the world would that boy do that? Oh, my goodness. The ball was headed for the end zone, and he grabbed it. And I know Coach Smith is not going to like that. And at least he got outside the end zone after he had picked the ball up and ran back in the end zone. He's tackled at about the half-yard line. Oh, my goodness.
I don't know. That might be debatable right here as he takes it there. And, boom, his knee is down in the end zone with the ball. So I don't know why they did not call that a safety.
I think everybody up here agrees.
One of the things we talked about, guys, when we were coming over, everybody was saying we didn't want to be in the locker room at halftime with Coach Smith. That's
I told him I'd like to be a bug on the wall.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you.
Goodness gracious.
But, again, it's just an illustration of how well coached both these teams are and the support that we have in Hampton, and it's just great to be part of it.
These two coaches, Dr. Rousseau, are not just good coaches in this area. They are known throughout the nation as being some of the top coaches in the nation.
Well, either of these teams can play with any teams in the country. Really, they really can. And Phoebus has just got a phenomenal team this year. You know, you've got a lot of young kids at Hampton, and so it's going to be an interesting next couple of years. We've got great football and great athletics, and you know what? We've got great academics too. So we're getting better.
Gain of about 1.5 yards on the play, and that's it. 2nd down and long now for the Crabbers.
I think the good academics goes hand in hand with the fact that the teams are so good. As a football player, you have to be fairly intelligent to be able to know the schemes and the plays that go on out there. And Hampton is known for being a highly academic school system.
Well, again, this year, as we achieved 97% of our schools accredited, everyone except one. You know, we're first time ever, and we're just getting better with everything we do. And again, it's a great support of this community, the city council, school board, and everyone to make sure that happens.
Martinez on the carry gets the ball out to about the 5-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 6 for the Crabbers, deep in their own territory.
Once again, you're watching live LSC as we have our initial broadcast. It is October the 10th, 2008. Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser. And right now we're up here with Dr. Rousseau from the Hampton City Schools, the superintendent, in our initial broadcast on our new station, local sports channel.
There's a pitch up the middle, and it looks like he may have been able to get a 1st down on the play. That'll certainly help. And there goes a flag thrown by our referee back here, Mr. Turlington. Let's wait and see what this call is. It must be a dead ball call, too, because I think Martinez got the 1st down on the play.
It's back in the backfield, and that's what's confusing for me.
And it was late. The flag was thrown well after the play.
Looks like it's going to be against Hampton.
That's why I asked Scotty. He said, I think, is that McCoolin?
See the replay. We can't even see the flag.
If you give me an idea where he is,
It was a personal foul called against Hampton. But I don't know. If it's a dead ball foul, they've got to give them the 1st down and then go half a distance.
I'll go down that end and look.
They had picked up the 1st down prior to the penalty. Doesn't look like they're going to give it to him either. If they picked up the first down first and then it was a dead ball foul,
penalty should come after the first down.
All right, they're giving them a first down from this spot. So they got the first down. They're still deep in their own territory, though. Looks like they're at about 6.
Guys, before I take off, I do want to thank all the police officers. We've had great coverage. Few problems, none that I've heard of so far. So we've got a great crowd here, but you know what? It's a well-behaved crowd. And again, I think it's indicative of the expectations of this community to make sure we have fun and support our teams, but do it in a manner that's proper. So I want to thank all our police officers and all our support staff out there that's helping making sure this big, huge crowd is in order.
Not only that, the crowd themselves we should thank for the great job that they do coming to the game, understanding they're here to watch the game.
And again, you know, everybody's just enjoying the game, and that's what this is all about. And it's nice to have it here and be part of it. So I thank you guys. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Dr. Rousseau. Appreciate you coming up and talking to us, and appreciate all you do for Hampton City Schools, sir.
Thank you, sir. Martinez and he is met in the backfield. He doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose about a yard on the play, back to about the 9. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 now for the Crabbers. Ball sits at their own 9-yard line. One of the things he talked about was how the crowd, as big as it is, and one of the things that I saw in the newspaper today was, or actually on the HRVarsity.com, one of the reporters was commenting on how the two teams and the fans of the two teams are very cordial to each other until they start to play, but during the game, just like it has been tonight, it's been very calm, no problems. And with a crowd like this, you know, the police department has a job, their hands full.
Oh, they're just
and
the
so
numbers
far it's
themselves.
been great. Little pitch out right there to Martinez, and will be short of the first down by about 3 yards. That'll bring up 4th down, and it looks like the Crabbers again will come in and have to punt, as Derek Adams for the Crabbers will be in punt formation. That looks like Markel Wilkins deep, and also number 38 would be Colby Goodwin back here standing on the Crabbers 45.
Second punt of the evening here, both of them taking place in the second half.
Nice punt to the near side as Colby Goodwin takes the ball at the Crabber 47 and will be brought down just inside the 37, just inside the 35-yard line. Pick up about 3 on the play on the return. So the Phantoms will take over 1st and 10 from the Hampton 34-yard line.
21-6. You're watching LSC, local sports channel, live from Darling Stadium, October the 10th, as we see some of the young students from around the Hampton area here watching the Hampton Crabber Phoebus Phantom football game. He's pulling his younger brother up so he can see him on camera.
And off to Austin up the middle. Good yardage inside the 30 down near the 28-yard line. It's going to pick up about 6 on the play for the Phantoms. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 4.
Here's the replay as we see Austin going off to the right side. There's nothing. It was a hole to the right. For some reason, he cut back to the left, split 2 tacklers, picked up a few more yards, but looked like he had a little big hole to the right-hand side that time.
152 yards for Austin on the night so far.
I'm going to guess Martinez with a little less than that.
A lot less than that. Here, again, Austin down near the 20. That's enough for a 1st down. Looks like a pickup of about 8 on the play as the ball is sitting at the 21-yard line. 1st and 10 for Phoebus. 2:04 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
I'm just amazed at how this Phoebus defense can shut down a Tron Martinez. They did it last year in both games. And here, I mean, he's a great runner. He's a fantastic runner and leads the region. And he comes in here and this defense just hounds him. Of course, they are keying on him tonight, so you have to give credit to where credit is due.
Yeah, we got a sideline warning against Phoebus. That's their first one. The second one will get a 5-yard penalty. So there's the warning to them. Stay off the sideline. Back them up. Nice little view of the little kids here watching the game.
No place to sit.
Youngsters.
I was out there during halftime, and there are no seats, Mike. They're just plain out, no seats.
Youngsters eating my favorite food, popcorn. 1st and 10 from the 21. Back to pass. Oh, my goodness. Nice pass to Wilkins. Inside the 5, down to the 4. Like Andy Allison for the Crabbers on the stop is they're going to gain a bunch on that one down to the 4-yard line. That's going to bring the Phantoms a 1st and goal.
That's just a quick slant, and Taj Boyd hits Wilkins as he's coming across the middle there. Nice little play. Caught him in the seam. He was open, got the pass in, and Wilkins picks up the extra yard. So once again, Phoebus beginning to threaten here as we come to the end of the third quarter. No scoring in this quarter yet, Mike.
Wait a minute, it's not over with yet. Down to 1:20 to go on a running clock. 1st and goal. Alston up the middle, down near the end zone, and he's in for the touchdown. Alston goes in 4 yards for the score. That extends their lead now to 27-6.
And Alston just eating up real estate all game long, off the right side, off the left side. He's following the line of Jones, Gaither, Christian, Hogan, and Davenport when he's there, and he's just picking up yards after yards after yards after yards.
Eric Crocker now to attempt the extra point out of the hold of number 12, Paul Morant. By the way, Paul Morant was the player who took over as the quarterback while Taj Boyd was hurt, so he is the quarterback of the future here for the Phantoms. Look for him.
Did a great job.
Absolutely.
Too, right?
So the kick is up, and it is good. 28-6 now as the Phantoms extend their lead over the Crabbers.
You're watching LSC, the local sports channel, on Cox Cable Channel 48 right now. We are live from Darling Stadium, and hopefully there are a lot of people at home watching this game. Some of you, like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, have both people from Phoebus and Hampton over at your house having little parties watching the game, and I hope you're really enjoying it.
We know which ones are doing the whooping up, I'm telling you.
Well, yeah, at this point they are, but again, there's still plenty of game to go. Hampton's a quick team, and they're a resilient team, and they're coached by Mike Smith. That says a lot right there, Mike. You can't count them out anywhere in the point of this game.
Minute 14 to go here in the third. 28-6, Phoebus out in front of the Crabbers. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, Bob Killen, and down on the field, Mr. Bob Hintz.
Some of the big names down in our truck: Don Scharouse, the audio and chief engineer; Scotty Bowers, our director and producer; production and audio assistant, Renee Camden. They keep things going down there and make sure we're all straight.
Rocker kicks off for the Phantoms. Line shot up the middle. Picked up by Futch, I believe, and he will get the ball out to the 35-yard line where the Crabbers will go 1st and 10. So the Crabbers will start 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line, and looks like we've got an injured player down. Is that Futch?
I believe it is, yes.
That's not good. He has been the bright spot right now so far tonight for the Crabbers. Kickoff returns, and he's done well.
He has. He's a good young man. I've liked what I've seen of him. He's a good athlete. If they can get him the ball, he can make things happen. Good speed, quickness, the ability to see open holes. I just like the way this guy plays.
Doesn't have a twisted knee. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Speaking of the way guys play, I hope you like the way we're playing with our new graphics here on LSC, local sports channel. I like the bar coming across the top showing the score. We got the clock that runs up there. And every now and then you see some nice graphics coming up. You see some slow motion replay. During halftime, we had graphics display for the stats. At the beginning of the game, when Mike and I are giving our comments pregame, you see some graphics going on there. And a guy that works for us, Andy Foley, spends weeks and weeks ahead of time, Mike, setting up all these graphics. I go down to his office every now and then to check and see how he's doing. He's the one that came up with that fantastic opening in the beginning with a new LSC logo coming in on the screen and popping out there with the music and everything and all the graphics and then the video of the previous football games. Andy has put in a lot of work, and I'd like to thank him for all he's done. It looks super when you look at it on the screen.
Yeah, it looks like the Crabbers coaching staff is getting an unsportsmanlike conduct call here, and I'll tell you what, Mike Smith is livid over there. He doesn't. The referee that actually threw the flag is the line judge over on that side of the field, and you can just see Mike with his hat turned around backwards, and he's not a happy camper right now, as that's just going to give Phoebus that much better field position as the ball's brought all the way down to the Crabber 20-yard line. And folks, this all took place after the injury.
Yes.
After the play. So the Crabbers will go first and 25 now, all the way down to the 20-yard line. After the dead ball penalty that was called against the Crabbers.
A shot of Omen Newkirk there on the sidelines as he's getting his rest until the offense goes back in.
Yeah, that one's going to come back because of the player in motion. That one went right through the receiver's hands. And I don't see any flags on the field.
I don't either, but we had some movement and motion on the line. We'll see what happens.
The referees are going to Turlington. Oh, there is one down here.
You see it?
Yep. And two players moved at the same time, so that we knew that was coming back.
Yeah. Here's the quarterback as he throws the ball across the middle. The receiver was wide open. The pass just a little bit high.
Jordan
and of course,
Roby,
the penalty will negate it anyway, even if it had been caught.
Jordan Roby is the quarterback now. We talked earlier in this game that the quarterbacks for the Crabbers and the receivers had to click in order for them to have a chance, because you knew that the Phantoms' defense was going to be geared to stop Martinez, and that's exactly what's happened tonight.
And so far to this point, the quarterbacks have not been able to make the big plays that the Crabbers need.
Well, they declined the penalty. That brings up a second down and 25. Ball still sits at the 20. Jordan Roby is the quarterback for the Crabbers. Actually, number 5's back in there, David Walford. And he is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
He being number 2, Tron Martinez.
He handed off to Martinez. You know, they're trying to run the ball and run the ball and run the ball up the middle, and they're not doing anything up the middle.
No, and they're not going to. Romero, Ward, Jones, and Davenport are blocking that fairly well. You got Chaz Robinson, Taylor, Levante Battle, and Paul Morant right behind them at the backers, and they're just stuffing everything. And I'll guarantee you, there's a minimum of 2 players that are keying on Martinez, and he's not going to go anywhere.
But the times that they've actually thrown the ball, the receivers have been open. The quarterbacks are just having a hard time getting the ball to them.
Well, they're young quarterbacks, and they're getting the experience. They're going to learn, and eventually they'll start hitting.
18, looks like 10 seconds left. This might be the last play of the quarter. 3rd down and 25. Back to pass. Deep down the left sideline. Oh, that was interference, and he was actually hit before the ball got there. That'll be a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, and it will be an automatic first down. And we'll have to wait and see what they call here, but it's obvious it was our defensive pass interference.
Great shot by our camera crew as they followed this pass downfield and picked up the receiver, and you can see the pass interference very clearly right there. As friends of mine used to say, you can't do that.
Ball was put right on the money. Number 15, Corey West, was the intended receiver, and it should be a 15-yard penalty. Be an automatic first down. The ball will be sitting at the Crabber 35-yard line, back where the original line of scrimmage was. Let's send it down to Bob. He's got a guest down on the sideline. Go ahead, Bob.
Thanks a lot, guys. I got Mick McCooley here. Mick has been in charge of the football officials for years and years and years. Tell me now, when officials getting ready for a big game like this, do they get excited like the players?
They are very pumped, Bob. This group, I like to hold who's going to get this game until about a week out, because everybody wants this ball game. There's not an official in my association wouldn't love to be out here, including me.
Well, I know that. I remember when you used to do it. How are you doing with being the commissioner?
Well, I love it. I love doing what I'm doing. I love the interaction and the situations I create with the coaches and the ADs all the way around all the peninsula. I've got Bay Rivers districts as well, and I'm just enjoying it. I love it. I can't be on the field anymore. My knees are shot, but and I can stay with the game, and I hope I can make a contribution. That's what I try to do.
Well, you're doing a good job, and I always appreciate it.
It's good to see you, Bobby. I'll tell you what. Welcome back, big guy. You sorely missed, yeah.
Okay, let's go back up to the booth.
First and 10 for the Crabbers. Pass over the middle, a little bit overthrown, as it was nicely defended by the Phantoms. This is the first play of the fourth quarter, by the way.
And speaking of the fourth quarter of this game is sponsored by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue, Nancy Staton, Director. By Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. They are longtime sponsors of Hampton City Schools and student athletes. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with some of the best burgers in town, located on the peninsula at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and the newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Call 594-0411, talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for tonight's game.
Intercepted on the play by the Phantoms at the 45-yard line. And there is a flag down on the play. It looks like it might be a clipping call. But right now the ball was intercepted by Paul Morant, number 12, and carried all the way down to the Crabber 25-yard line for turnover number 6.
Mike, it looked like the Crabbers had the receiver open. The ball was just overthrown. If it had been thrown underneath, I think they would have had the completion, but this one just got away and went over the receiver's head. Paul Morant picks it up, makes a good run back to put the Phantoms in good position, but like I said, I think it's going to come back due to an illegal block.
Yeah, the flag was thrown at the Crabbers' 38-yard line, so they'll move it back from the spot of the foul. And it looks like some of the Hampton folks are starting to thin out a little bit over there. 10-yard penalty back to the Crabber 48-yard line, but the Phantoms will take over first and 10. 2 interceptions and 4 fumbles for the Crabbers here in this game. Can't win games like that.
Well, you can't win when you make a lot of mistakes, especially when the other team capitalizes on those mistakes, and Phoebus has been able to do that tonight as well as play good defense.
Hodge Boyd under center, one wide receiver to the near side, and again Alston up the middle. Nice hole, cuts back to the right and is brought down by Futch at the Crabber 27-yard line. Like a gain of about 20 yards for Alston on the play.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish we were able to see Tron Martinez in the way he normally runs, because you're getting to see one of the other great backs in the district this year, Sean Alston, who I've said does a fantastic job of picking up holes and going where he needs to go. He has good quickness, good eyesight, good field perception. And Tron Martinez does as well. He's just getting bottled up where Alston is getting the opening.
Yeah, next Thursday night we'll be back here live again as the Crabbers will be playing the Kickoff Warriors. And nice little run outside by the Phantoms, and I believe that is Davenport as he picks up about, looks like 13 yards on the play all the way down inside the 15-yard line. And he gets up like he's rather pumped, doesn't he?
He does that. Dominique Davenport, normally a lineman. They put him in the backfield, call the elephant. He's hit. He's grabbed, and he just bounces off and keeps right on going.
And look who was the guy that actually got him down, number 24, Mr. Funch. And I tell you what, that young man, he's not a very big guy, but he sure does play big.
Yeah, and he's tackling a big guy. Dominique Davenport, 6'1", 270 pounds.
He laid a shoulder into him on that and brought him down. First and 10 for the Phantoms at about the 13-yard line. Alston on the carry off the right side, battles his way inside the 10 down to about the 7. Give him a gain of about 6 on the play. That'll bring up a second down and 4 for the Phantoms.
Look how he moves his feet. Watch his head as he turns, follows the block, sees the opening there to his right, gives a good juke, and then watch this dive at the end there to pick up another yard or 2. Smart runner.
You know, you got to give the Phantoms defense all the credit in the world, because they're having to play against a young man after 6 games in Tron Martinez that's gained almost 1,200 yards.
Oh, he's flat ripped up the Peninsula District.
Every other team they've played, he's been averaging almost 200 yards a game. He's had 2 games that were over 250 yards a game. So, he's a good runner. He's obviously a good runner, but right now the defense is absolutely bottling him up. just hadn't had a chance to get in any momentum at all.
Oh, not at all. And he is 2/3 of the Hampton offense. And when you know
you only have 6 points on the scoreboard, your offense is not doing a lot.
No, but you key on the guy that's 2/3 of your offense, and you're going to stop him.
And who scored that touchdown?
Martinez. Number 24.
That's right.
Touchdown number 24,
That's right.
not runner number 24.
3rd down and 1 now inside the 5.
Those fans are looking happy there, so I'm going to assume that was the Phoebus side of the field we just saw. There it is.
Right into the end zone is Mr. Alston for 4 yards and the score. His 3rd touchdown of the night.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you can't stop Sean Alston, you're not going to be able to stop the Phoebus Phantoms. And Sean Alston has taken advantage of Charlie Jones, Vic Gaither, Antonio Christian, and Jaquan Hogan, and he's just running right through every hole they give him.
Eric Crocker out of the hole to Morant for the extra point attempt here for the Phantoms. Snap, kick is up, and it is good. So the Phoebus Phantoms now extend their lead to 29 points as they lead the Crabbers 35-6, and I think they're showing everybody why they're number 2 ranked in the state.
I think so too. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're at home watching this live on LSC Local Sports Channel, don't turn us off. Don't go away. Don't go in the kitchen and get anything to eat or drink. Stay with us, because this is Hampton High School that Phoebus is playing. And as you watch Sean Alston take this in for another touchdown, realize that Hampton is going to get a whole lot more touches of the ball. And when you're talking Hampton football, you're talking about quick players, you're talking about good defense, you're talking about a coaching staff that preaches and teaches fundamentals and gets a team to play hard. They still have 10 minutes to go. And ladies and gentlemen, please remember this. When I said don't turn the TV off, I meant don't turn the TV off. You're watching LSC. We're on here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every month, every year. We are LSC, your local sports channel. And right after this game, which is brought to you live from Darling Stadium, October the 10th, 2008, you can watch other sports programming from the files and archives of WHCS Channel 46 Sports. If you had anybody that played sports in the Peninsula District at either Hampton High School, Bethel High School, Kickoff High School, or Phoebus High School, you can watch them play in a game on LSC every day, every hour, every month of the year. LSC, your local sports channel.
Like on the kickoff, the Phantoms might have been offside again, so that'll move them back 5 yards. They'll kick again, this time from the 35. Let's see if they try to get the ball in the hands of Tron Martinez, who is deep for the Crabbers.
I think if Martinez can just get one run that can get him loosened up, I think he'll begin to find some open territory.
Yeah, they're kicking the ball to the left side, and over on the left side is Darius Thomas. I'm surprised they really haven't flip-flopped him.
But they might.
They're staying right where they're at, so let's see where Crocker kicks it off this time. This time he goes again to the left, and that will be Thomas. At the 20 to the 25, cuts it back in, and nice tackle as it gets down to about the 27-yard line as the Phantoms looks like number 34 on the stop, and that's Justin Howell. So the Crabbers take over 1st and 10 down inside the 20, inside the 30. Looks like it's going to be marked at about the 26 if the referees would ever put the ball down.
Folks, if you're watching us live, once again, we hope you're enjoying the game on LSC. If after the game you're going out, make sure you go out and support our sponsors tonight, Zooms and Kelly's Tavern. If you're hungry, go out and grab something to eat at one of those places and tell them that you heard about them from LSC. And we appreciate their sponsorship for these games.
Nice hit by the Phantom. That looks like that runner was number 21.
That's correct.
Caver, C-A-V-E-R. Chris Caver, number 21. That's the first time he's touched it tonight.
I'll go along with that name. I'll take your word for it.
Number 5 is the quarterback now, David Wofford. Gain of about 4 on the play, but he was kind of just rolled right over.
Yeah, he was nailed by 3 guys right there. Tough way to come into the game and get hit.
Looks like the Crabbers are playing a lot of players now, a lot of white uniforms out there as Martinez is out. Again, that's Caver, number 21. The ball back to about the line of scrimmage, and that's it. That'll bring up 3rd and long for the Crabbers from their own 31.
Chris Caver once again into the line, number 21 for the Crabbers. Demetrius Ward stands above, brings him down.
Crowd over there getting thinner and thinner all the time, Mike, and the Hampton side, Phoebus side, still fairly full, although there's a few people trickling out from this side.
Looking to see if I can find Martinez over there, but I don't see him on the sidelines, guys.
Well, we know you can't see anyway.
Yeah, but I got specs on. 3rd down and long now. Offered back the pass being flushed out of the pocket. Rolling around to the right side. Pass is over and incomplete right through the hands of the intended receiver. Like it was it looked to me like the ball was on target, and it would have been good for a 1st down too. And it was intended for Williams.
Some of these passes just a tad bit high, though. You'll see this one is just out of his reach. Again, receivers having to go up too much for the ball. Got to get the passes down and into their arms.
Hampton only has 9 players on the field, and they're getting ready to punt, so Hampton has to call timeout. So every phase of the game right now is just not working for the Crabbers. The timeout is called by the Crabbers. 4th down and about 6 at 31. 7:44 to go. Phantoms getting ready to get the ball back again, already leading 35-6.
Big game of the year, the Hampton Crabbers and the Phoebus Phantoms, as we see some of the crowd that's leaving there. You're not leaving. You're still at home, and you're watching us live on LSC from Darling Stadium, October the 10th, 2008. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser. We're up in the booth bringing you live the initial broadcast of our new station, the sports channel, LSC Local Sports Channel. All sorts of good things we're going to have on this channel, Mike, along with all the sports. You'll see football, you'll see baseball, softball, basketball, you'll see soccer, field hockey, all from Bethel High School, Hampton High School, Kickoff High School, and Phoebus High School. And in addition to that, you'll see some archives of some old professional sports games.
Eric Adams now in there to punt for the Crabbers. A line drive kick. Gets a Hampton bounce as it keeps on rolling inside the 30, inside the 27-yard lines where it'll be marked. And maybe we can get something from Bob Hintz down there, a little bit of a possible feeling of what it looks like standing on the sideline looking at a game sometime between now and here shortly.
It can't be as nice as it is up here. I'll tell you what, if there's one thing about being up in this booth, we've got a great view. Of course, my view is right here on this screen. I love watching the game right here.
Hey, let's go down to Bob. You down there, Bob?
Down here, Mike. Listen, you can hear the hitting sometimes up there, but when you're down here and you see these young men hitting, it's unbelievable. I was talking to Jerry Gentry, who's one of the trainers for the Phantoms, and he said, you watch Davenport. He's fullback in the making. But the great crowd down here and awesome football.
Like the Phantoms thanks, Bob. Phantoms just drew the Crabbers offside, so they're going to pick up another 5 yard. Yeah, it's a totally different perspective standing on the sideline, being able to actually watch the game and actually hear the play.
Here's a replay. You can see the movement there on the right-hand side of your screen. 2 players going in for the penalty. And, Mike, we need to make sure that we thank Bob Hintz for being coaxed out of retirement to come back and do the job from a different position. Now, he's always been up here where we are, seeing the game from this aspect. So with him being down on the sideline, he's able to tell us what he sees from a different perspective. And, of course, now that he's older, it's a lot easier to see the game from down there.
Nice run of about 5 yards on the play. Might be a little bit short for a first down. So, Bob, you going to be down there with us when it really gets cold?
I won't be here whether it's raining, whether it's cold. You know, you wimps up there, you got the window. We've been when the water's up over your ankles.
That's right.
You guys haven't done nothing. You're still rookies.
I remember that game. That was in Richmond.
That was up at VCU.
That's right.
I mean, sorry, up to Virginia Union.
That's when the Ronald Curry State Championship game. That's right.
Yeah, it sure was. But, you know, you guys are just rookies.
That's right.
Does that mean we're young, Bob?
That's right. What did you say, Scotty? The Mud Bowl? That's
the
right.
Mud Bowl, baby.
Like a first down by the Phantoms on the run that time. Well, I tell you what, I was at that game, and I was sitting in the stands, and I was trying my darndest to stay away from the field there because you might have fallen in a hole and then it never found you in that field. Davenport on the carry. Looks like he picks up 5, and there's like the fullback in the making, as Bob said earlier. He's a handful to bring down, that's for sure.
Well, 6'1", 270 pounds. Yeah, he's a big boy, but
comes off the field now as we speak.
He can be a fullback in the making, but he's a senior, and they're not going to have him but for another 4 or 5 games.
Hodge Boyd goes back to pass over the middle, intended for number 5, and he caught number 7. What a great catch there by Jason Mango.
That was Daquan Romero, number 7, I think, that caught that one.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. It was Romero. Sorry. What a play, though. I mean, he reached up and just took the defense was right on him.
But what a pass to put it right in there, and he grabs it with one hand and has the presence of mind to pull it in.
He pulled it in,
keep
going
control
down.
of it.
Absolutely, an outstanding play.
You know, if we were like ESPN and had our plays at the end of the night, that would be one of the plays. Well, we would use our music for that.
Oh, okay.
Andy has special music for that kind of stuff.
All the way down to the Crabber 28-yard line, 1st and 10 for Phoebus as they are driving again, and I guess 35 points is not enough. Pitches out. Austin again outside. And he gets down to the 25-yard line and it still fights for another couple yards. Outstanding run.
Well, it was an outstanding run, but I'm glad they did that because it points out something that we've been able to show all year. When Austin goes up the middle and off tackle, he's getting good yardage. When he tries to go around the ends, it gives the Hampton defense, which is very quick, the opportunity to contain him and keep him in. Yeah. Austin is not going to get good yardage when he tries to go outside. His forte is up the middle and off tackle, and he just proved that with that play because the Crabbers were able to get to him.
If we can get Bob to give us what the stats are for Austin.
190 yards already, 10 more, he'll hit 200, and he's going to come close right here.
Austin gets the ball down inside the 15-yard line. That's a gain of about 7 on the play. He's getting close to 200 yards. That's a 1st and 10 now as the ball sits just inside of the Crabber 15-yard line.
Phoebus and Sean Alston pounding the ball off tackle, up the middle, all day long. Bob Hintz said it before the game started. The team that controls the trenches controls the game. And so far, Phoebus's line has done that both offensively and defensively.
Hand off to Austin up the middle, stopped at the line, and still keeps on going all the way down to the 10. That ought to give him enough to get 200. I bet Bob could tell us when it was the last time that the Phoebus Phantoms had a running back rush for over 200 yards in a game.
2 happy gentlemen right there, the principal and assistant principal of Phoebus High School, and they've got smiles on their faces as their team leading at this point 35-6.
5-yard gain, 2nd down to 5 now as the ball sits at the 10.
There we got some good smiles and a wave. Kevin Davis on your left, Robert Johnson, the principal, on the right, dressed in the Phoebus blue.
And off up the middle to Davenport. He barrels his way all the way in for the score.
Whoa!
And there's a flag for a late hit in the end zone that was probably totally unnecessary. Either way, Davenport goes in and he scores. I guess everybody's getting in on the trick tonight.
Well, that was one of those runs that you'll show over and over there. Dominique Davenport, all 270 pounds. Watch this. Boom, slips a tackle there, slips a tackle there, breaks through a man there. Watch this last one at the end zone as he goes past these guys. Here it is right here. Boom, I'm going in. And he does.
And here's the
6'1",
last
270 pounds. And I think that was your flag right there on that last.
That's what it was.
Hit.
What'd they call that? I didn't see it. Yeah, we'll see it as Mr. Turlington will tell us.
It's called a touchdown.
No, I'm talking about the flag. Personal foul call against the Crabbers.
Alston now with 32 carries, 203 yards on the night.
32 carries. Been a busy young man.
Yes, well.
33 carries.
If you can't stop him.
Yeah, they'll assess the penalty on the kickoff. So Crocker in to kick the extra point out of the hold of Paul Morant, number 12, trying to extend the Phantom lead. There's the snap. Kicks up long enough, and it is through. 3:53 to go here in the ball game. The Phoebus Phantoms extend their lead now to 42-6 over the Crabbers.
And we'd like to thank everyone out there watching us live on LCS, Local Sports Channel, October the 10th, 2008. The Hampton Crabbers and the Phoebus Phantoms. Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser bringing you the initial broadcast of the Local Sports Channel, a new channel for the City of Hampton school system.
They're going to have a running clock the rest of the game because it's over 35 points, so we need to pick our player of the games here shortly because it's not going to take long to go through 3 minutes and 53 seconds.
Oh, no, it's not. And I think that's pretty easy to do. I agree. That one's a no-brainer. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is. So let me pass along this information over here.
Get the information over to Bob so we can pass it on to the truck, and we've got them picked already, and we'll be ready to give that to you in a few minutes as Crocker gets ready to kick off, and it looks like number 8 again is off to the left on the far side of the field, and that's where he looks like he's aiming to kick it. Let's see where it goes. Oh, he kicks it straight up the middle of the field. Taken by Funch at the 25-yard line. He's going to get to about the 32. Pickup of maybe 7 on the return. Crabbers will take over first and 10 from their own 32-yard line, trailing 42-6.
We'd like to thank our crew tonight, ladies and gentlemen, who have been here all night long. They've done a fantastic job. On cameras tonight, we have Nathaniel Braxton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer. On graphics and animation, Andy Foley. Slow motion, Mike Nowinski. Camera control operator, Sarah Myers. Production audio assistant, Renee Camden. Audio and chief engineer, Don Sherrouse. Director and producer, the big man, Scotty Bowers. I'm Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser. We had Brett Musgrove here tonight, Bob Hintz, and on stats, Bob Killen.
Thanks, Bob. Great job down there on the field. Back to pass is completed over the middle. Oh, and he dropped the pass. My goodness. I guess when it goes bad, it just pours, you know. Incomplete pass brings up second down, and the clock was going to continue to run. So as soon as Andy could put up our player of the game's participants, we'll let you know who they are.
And for those of you that will watch this game again, you can see it Saturday, October 11th at 7 p.m. on Cox Cable 48, local sports channel. On Tuesday, October the 14th at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. And Friday, October the 17th at 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Once again, local sports channel, right now broadcast on Cox Cable channel 48.
Pitch back to number 21, Chris Caver. Nothing there as he's going to lose about a yard on the play as the clock continues to run. 2:25 to go.
Here's that last play. It's just a quick pitch to the back, and Phoebus' defense, not showing any signs of weariness or tiredness, are still tough and stopping the run.
That was Taquan Faulkner on the run that time, and referees actually stopped the clock for a minute. Coming over here to, like Mr. Turlington coming over here to talk to Bill Dee for a minute. Not real sure what the conversation is. I was trying to get the Phantom players and coaches to stay off the sideline.
Our players of the game, when they come up, are sponsored by Tidewater Team Sports. They'll receive T-shirts at some point during the year, indicating that they were the players of the game. Tidewater Team Sports in Oyster Point, Newport News. your place for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. And we'd like to thank them for their sponsorship.
3rd down and 10 for the Crabbers. Back to pass, being flushed out and sacked. Oh, he's down. They can't call that a fumble.
Oh, they can if they want to. We'll see what happens.
That was a fair fumble from right here.
Oh, we're waiting on Mr. Turlington to tell us what they're going to do. They're going to call him down, so that'll be a big loss for the Crabbers, but it'll bring up a 4th down and about 19 on the play. So he's down right there, and then all of a sudden the ball just scoots out. So 4th down and 19 as the Crabbers will again punt the ball. 1:35 on the running clock, and we're waiting on our player of the game, boys.
Well, Mike, we said that keys for this game, that Hampton's Martinez would have to have a good game. Unfortunately, he did not. We said that Hampton's defense would have to contain Alston, and they did not.
Unfortunately, they did not. All right, here are our players of the game. For the Hampton Crabbers, Dion Funch, who was very instrumental on just about any kind of offense that the Crabbers had today. They did a very good job running the ball back on kicks and punts. And, of course, for the Phoebus Phantoms, Sean Alston, over 200 yards rushing for the game. Those are our players of the game here for our opening game live here on the local sports channel.
There's one of the Phoebus young players for Phoebus. He's very happy. There you see the principal. He's got a big smile on his face, Mr. Johnson.
This will probably be the last play of the game. Morant in at quarterback now as he hands the ball off, gain of about 2 on the play. As the running back this time was number 33, and that was Jaquan Tolliver, his first carry of the night, I believe. So as the game clock runs down to 10 seconds, that will pretty much do it here as we're down to 5 seconds now. And the final score here at Darling Stadium, the Phoebus Phantoms cement their #1 spot here in the district with a convincing 42-6 decision over the Crabbers of Hampton High School, as the Crabbers go down to their first defeat of the year. And, don't count them out, folks. They're still a force to be reckoned with in the Peninsula District.
You have to remember that in the beginning of the year, the Phoebus Phantoms defeated Bethel, and they've gone on to win every game since then. It's not the game we quite expected, Mike, but it was the big Hampton-Phoebus game. It ends up as a victory for the Phoebus Phantoms.
We talked at the beginning of the game about keys to this game, and the keys that we talked about were very instrumental in how the Phoebus Phantoms took care of business here tonight. Final score, the Phoebus Phantoms 42 and the Hampton Crabbers 6. Again, Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, Bob Killen down on the field, Mr. Bob Hintz. As we end our first live contest here on Channel 48, the local sports channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the local sports channel, LSC, on Cox Cable Channel 48. Welcome to live Friday Night Football. Tonight's broadcast has been sponsored by Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with 2 locations on the peninsula. Fort Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And in part by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home, both inside and out. And by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com. And by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue, Nancy Staton, Director.
All right, folks, again, final score as you see it on the screen in our great graphics job there. The Phoebus Phantoms take care of business here by a score of 42-6. And, Paul, it was either going to be a really close game or it was going to turn out the way it turned out. And unfortunately for the Crabbers, it did not turn out to be a close game. And offensive line, defensive line for the Phoebus Phantoms showed their superiority here tonight.
And like you said, Mike, that's why they're ranked at the top in football. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we hope you've enjoyed this live. If you did, please let us know at the station and let us know down at the school board. This is Local Sports Channel live from Darling Stadium.
Good night, everyone.